number one is the 1979. It's the Malaguti Cavalcone. Look at this one, to be offered with no reserve today. It's a rare 50cc example. Just going to let the people online. We said we'll start at 11 o'clock. I'm a little bit early, so I'm waiting for my clock to go before we start on this one. But if you're online, feel free to press your button and get it going. It's 11 o'clock now, so we're going to start. Here we go, lot number one then. We've got a couple of telephones, I believe. See the telephones there, ready to go. You've got 500 online. I'm going to go 600 and 700 is my bid at the minute. At 700, we're bid. At £700 is the bid at the minute. 8's bid. 850, 900. I'll take 50 again. At 900 a bid. 1,000's bid. Okay, we'll take the jump bid. I'm going to go 1,100 with me. At 1,100's bid. 12? 1,200's bid now. I'm out. Commission bidder's out on the telephone at £1,200. At 1,200 is the bid. First lot of the day. No reserve. It must be sold today. At 1,200, 1,200. At 1,200 is the bid. 1,300 now. Other telephone's in. At 1,300, 1,300. Damien's telephone's in. At 1,300. 14's bid. At 14 with Will's telephone now. At 1,400, 1,400. Would you like to go 15? At 1,400. At 1,400 on the telephone. Would anyone else like to come in? We'll take another 50 if they're nice and quick. At 1,400 the bid. Are you coming in online? Looking for you now. Hovering away at £1,400. We're going to go once on the telephone. At 1,400. Twice. Finished and done. And selling now with you then, Will. At £1,400. Your telephone, 1,400. Thanking you on the telephones there. 2001. Thank you very much. Moving on down, we go to lot number two of the day then. Lot number two, the 2005 Ducati 1000 SS, this one then. Low mileage example there, 3,578 miles reading on the clock on this one. It's a 992cc V-twin as well. Original bike, looks great. Going to start with my commission bids here. I'm going to go 1,000, 1,200, 1,400 is bid. At 1,400, 1,600, 1,600, 1,700's bid. 1,800, 1,800. I'm going to have to go 2,000 with me. I'll take 2-1 if you're coming back in. At 2,000, my commission bidder now. At 2,000, 2,000 is the bid. At 2,000 here on the book with me at 2,000. Would anyone like another 100 on this one? 2, 2-1. 2-1's bid. Thank you on the telephone. At 2-1's bid. I'm out. You're in at 2,100. At 2-1 the bid. 2-2's online. At 2,002. At 2,200 with you at the minute in East Yorkshire, 2-3 telephone. At 2-3 bid. At 2,003, East Yorkshire, would you like to go again? At 2,003. At 2,000, 2,003. And it's on outright sale, so make no mistake. 2,004. At 2,4 the bid. At 2,000, 2,004. Would you like 2,5? 2,5 already. At 2,005. 2,6. 2,6 is bid. It's running off online. At 2,600 is the bid. At 2,6, 2,6, 2,6 with you online. At 2,600 in the West Midlands at the minute. At 2,006, I'll take 50 if it tempts you back in. At 2,006, are we finished and done on the telephone? At 2,000, 2,650 already online. 2,650's bid. 2,7. 2,7's back in. At 2,700 is bid. At 2,727 it sells today. 2,750 it goes on. At 2,750 we're bid now. 2,750. At 2,750, 2,8. At 2,800. At 2,850 back in now. 2,850 is the bid. At £2,850 we're bid now here online. West Yorkshire, you're in. At 2,850 is the bid. Hammers up for the first time then. And 2,900. At 2,009, go 50 again if you're coming in online. At 2,900 is the bid. Would anyone else in the room like to come in? A Ducati scaling away. At 2,900 and 50 back in. At 2,950, your bid online. At 2,950, 3,000. Let's go 3,1. At 3,000, sell to the nearest 100 now. At 3,000 is bid. Would you like to go 3,1 online? At 3,000, it's gonna sell. Make no mistake, online bidders, at £3,000 for the first time. At £3,000 for the second time. Hammers up, away it goes. Online bidder at £3,000. Sold at £3,000. Thank you very much, online bidder, and your bidder number is 12240. Moving on down, we go to lot number 3 of the day then. Lot number 3 is the 1999. It's the Kawasaki ZX-7R Ninja as well. Nice classic super bike this one is. Done about 19,000 miles on the clock, 6-speed manual, electric start as well. Where are we at with this one? Start me off. Who's got £1,000 to start on this one? Let's get the ball rolling here. £1,000. 1,000's bid. Thank you. At 1,000's bid. At 1,000, 1,000 the bid now. 1,000 is the bid. At 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. I'll take 1,200 if anyone wants to come in from here. At £1,000. At 1,000 is the bid. At 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. On the commission bid here now at £1,000. I'll take 1,100 if you're thinking about it. At £1,000 here. Would anyone like 1,100 now? At £1,000, are we finished and done then? At £1,000, 1,100. I seen the room bidder first, just before you online. The paddle went up at £1,100. Online, would you like 12? At 1,100 is bid. 1,200's in online. Would you like 13? At 1,200 is bid. At 1,200, 1,200 online bidder at the minute. At 1,200, would anyone like 1,300? At 1,200, are we finished? Are we done? Last chance. Fair warning, at just £1,200, there's an online bid, 1,300. Thank you, online, you're back in. At 1,300, 1,300. It's your bid with you online. Underbidder, would you like to go 14? At 1,300, 1,300. I'll tell you what, we'll go in 50s. If you make it nice and quick online, at 1,300, we'll take 50. At 1,300 for the first time, 1,350's bid. At 1,350, 1,350. At £1,350, we're bid here at 1,350. I'll take 14. 14's back in, thank you. Somewhere in the United Kingdom is with you. And back in 1,450, West Yorkshire bidder now. At £1,450 at the minute. At 1,450, 1,450, underbidder, would you like 15? At 1,450 is bid. At 1,450, 1,450, last chance. Fair warning, we're finished and done then. At £1,450 it goes, 1,500. At 1,500 is bid. At 1,500, 1,550. At 1,550, thank you for your fast bidding in West Yorkshire. It's with you at the minute. At 1,550, would you like 1,600 underbidder? At 1,550, 1,550, once. At 1,550, twice. At 1,550 and 16 bid. At 1,600 now. 50 again. At 1,650 is the bid. At 1,650, 1,650. 1,700, one more online. You coming in? Last chance in fair warning. It goes once, it goes twice. We're finished and done then at 1,700 a bid. At 1,700, 1,700, back in online and 50 back in. At 1,750, 1,750, thank you online at the minute. At £1,750 is the bid. At 1,750, underbidder, would you like 18? I'm going to give you that countdown. Once online. At 1,750, twice online. Last chance, fair warning online, and at £1,750. That's provisional online, 17334, 17334. Provisional bid there at 1,750. Thank you very much, online bidder. Moving on to lot number 4 of the day, 1977. It's the Kawasaki Z200. Another no reserve bike in today's auction then, ladies and gentlemen. Where are we up to with this one? I've got several commission bids on me. I'm going to go 250, 300, 400, and 500. We start. I'll take 600 next. At 500 is the bid. 600, 700. Would you like 8? My commission bid here at 700. 800. I'm out. You're in. Thank you, sir. At £800 on the floor. Seated bidder now. At £800 the bid. Would anyone like 9? At 800, 800. It's no reserve. It's going to go 900's bid. At 900, 900. 50? Shakes the head with you on the telephone at 900. At 900, 900. Would anyone else like to come in for another 50? Online, you're thinking about it. 1,000. 1,000's bid. 1,100 if we can. At £1,000 is online. Would you like one more? Shakes the head. Telephone bidders out. Would anyone else like another 50 in the room? It's online. It's going to sell today. At £1,000 once, and £1,000 twice. Hammers up and selling £1,000. Sold for 1,000. Thank you, online bidder. And your bidder number was 12240. Moving on to lot number 5 then. Lot number 5 is the 2006 Yamaha the CP250. Unfortunately, sold away. The free lot process there, the free stage process coming into hand there. That one's already sold prior to auction. So we move down to the next lot. Number 6 is up next. Yeah, just go to the next lot. On to number 6. There we go. Lot number 6. 1950s. Dot scrambler there. The 197. Superb machine. This is 197cc. Where are we up to with this one then? Start me off on this one. Got no bids on my book on this one. Anyone got £2,000 to start for the little dot? 2,000 to start. How about £1,000 to go then? £1,000. It's got to be 1,000 to kick it off today. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Anyone interested at £1,000? 1,000 surely. 1,000's bid. Thank you on the balcony. You're in. At £1,000 now. At 1,000's bid. Let's go 1,100 if you're coming in. At £1,000 now. At 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. Would anyone like 1,100 here? 1950s dot at just £1,000. 11 if you're coming in. 11. 11's bid. Would you like 12? 1,200 now. 12 is straight back in. At 1,200, 1,200. At 1,200, 1,200. 13, one more. At 1,200 is the bid. Oh, we finished and done at £1,200. 13's back in. 1,300, 1,300, shaking head up top. At 1,300 is the bid with you on the telephone now. At 1,300, 1,300, would anyone else like to jump in for 14? Online bidder, you coming in now. It's your chance. At 1,300, 1,300, telephone bidders in then. We'll count you down. At 1,300 once. At 1,300 twice. Finishing done then on the telephone with you, Will, at £1,300. We'll submit that bid your way at £1,300. Telephone bidder, that is a provisional bid. 2000. Okay. Right then, moving on to lot number 7. Lot number 7 of today's bike auction is another lovely Ducati. It's the 2006 900 SFF. Very low mileage again. It's reading under 5,000 kilometers on the clock as well. So that's about 2,900 miles, I believe. Where are we up to with this one? I'm going to start with my commission bid here. Straight in at £1,000. At 1,000's bid. At £1,000 now. At 1,000's bid. At 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. Let's go 1,100 if you're coming in. £1,000 on the book. 1,100's bid. 1,200. Would you go 13, sir? 1,300. You're in. I'm out at 1,300 up top. At 1,300, 1,300 is the bid. At 1,300, 1,300. 14's bid now. Telephone 15 straight back in. 16 bid. 1,600 now. At 1,600 telephone. Would you like one more, sir? At 1,600 here. 1,650, all right. 1,650's bid. At 1,650. 1,700. We'll stay in the 50s. At 1,700 is the bid. At 1,700, 1,700. Would anyone like 50? At 1,700, 1,750. At 1,750 now. It's against you on the telephone. One more. 1,800's bid. At 1,800, 1,800. Thank you anyway. At £1,800 is the bid at the minute. Would anyone else like another 50 here? 1,850, yes please, online. At 1,850, 1,850. At £1,850 is an online bid. 19's back in now, 19. Online, your turn. 1,950, thank you very much. 2,000? At 1,950 is bid. 2,000's bid. Let's say one if we can. At 2,000, 2,000 a bid. Would you like to go one more 100 online? At £2,000 is the bid on the telephone at the minute. We're going in hundreds now. At £2,000, 2-1 is bid. 2-2 next if possible.
It's on sale now. No, I'm not sure it's 2-2.
2-2? 2-2's bid. And on outright sale at £2,200, it's going to sell today. At 2,002, 2-3's back in. At 2,000, 2,003. At 2,300, 2-4 on the telephone now. At 2,004, looking for you online. You coming in one more. It's at 2,400. I'm going to put the hammer in the hand. It's going to sell at 2,400 once. At 2,400 and 2.5 back in. At 2,005 now is the bid. At 2,005. At 2,000, 2,500 is the bid. Online bidder in the West Midlands. It's with you at 2,005. At 2,000, 2,500, are we finished?
Come on, we need an answer, mate.
At 2,500, I'm going to count you down once.
2,550?
2,550, okay. 2,550 is bid. At 2,550 on the telephone, right-handed now. 2,6 back in, make it quick online. 2,650 if you're coming in on the telephone. At 2,006. At 2,600 is the bid. Once.
Okay.
twice. Done and dusted on the telephone. It's with you online at 2,600. Sold at £2,600. Online bidder, that's 12240. Moving on to lot number 8. Lot number 8 is this lovely 2010 Suzuki. And some say he used to be on Top Gear. But all we know is he's Steve Berry.
Yeah, you're right about that, Tom. Now, I don't know how the lads do this, but they have a habit of finding rare, desirable motorcycles with no miles on them. When you find out how little this fantastic motorcycle has actually travelled in the last 15 years, like me, you'll probably be gobsmacked and think, how does that happen? We don't know why it happens, but what we do know is that a lot of those bikes end up here. As Tom said, 2010 750 Gixxer, limited edition. They only did 25. This is one of the 25. It says K8. Some of you are thinking, 2010, it can't be a K8 because, well, hold on a second. The 25 anniversary bikes that they did, UK only, I say again, were based on the K8 version of the GSXR750. Since 2010, this motorcycle has covered 1,600 miles. Yeah, not 16,000, 1,600. And the condition it's in, it looks more like it's covered 16 miles. Like I said, Tom, I don't know where the lads get them from. I don't know how they find these bikes, but I'm glad that they do.
Yes, and it says number 6 of 25 then. So as rare as hen's teeth, they say on this one. Where are we up to? Start me off. Who's got £5,000 to start? Look at it there. Beautiful bike. Surely worth 5,000 to get it going today. 5,000 surely. Coming in for 5. 5 bid. Thank you, sir. At 5,000, we'll go 250 next. At 5,000 on the floor now at £5,000. At 5,000, 250 if anyone's coming in. Look at it there. A glorious looking bike. 5,250's bid. Would you like 5,500, sir? 5,500 back in. Thank you. At 5,500, we'll stay in the 250s. Online, would you like to come in for the 750? At 5,500 is the bid. At 5,500. At 5,005. Are we finishing done at just 5,500? I'll tell you what, we'll go 5,600. Make it nice and no need 5,750. 5,750. Would you go 5,800, sir, and then we'll go in 200s if we can. 5,800's bid. Let's go 6,000 next. At 5,800's bid. At 5,008. Let's get to some nice round numbers. At 5,800, gentleman's bid now. At 5,008. At 5,800 is the bid. Would anyone else like 6,000? I'll tell you what, we'll take 100 if you make it nice and quick. Got to be fair to the gentleman here at 5,800 is bid. 5,900. 6,000, thank you. At 6,000, 6,000, go 1 online if you're coming back in. At 6,000 is the bid. At 6,000, 6,000, 6,000. At £6,000 is the bid now at 6,000. 1 if you're coming in for 1 more. We'll count you down. 6,1's bid. 6,1, 6,2, thank you again, sir. At 6,200, he's back in now at 6,2. At 6,000, 6,200 is the bid. At 6,000, 6,002. Would you like to go 3 online? We'll start counting it down then. At 6,200 once. At £6,200, the bid. 6,3. 6,3's back in. 6,4, thank you again, sir. At 6,400 is the bid. At 6,4, 6,4, 6,4. At 6,400, are we finished and done then at 6,004? It goes once. It goes twice. Last chance in 6,500 back in. 6,566. 6,600 is the bid. At 6,000, 6,006. Online bidder, would you like to go again? At 6,600, all finished and done then. At 6,600, once, twice. Finished and done then at 6,600. Make no mistake then. Last chance in fair warning. 6,600. 6,700. 6,700 sneaking in. Leave it a little later online there. At 6,700 is with you in Dorset. Would you like 6,800, sir? 6,800? At 6,700. At 6,700 is the bid then once, twice. 6,800, thank you, sir. At 6,800 a bid. At 6,000, 6,800, I'll do the same with you online. Once, twice, finished and done. Gentleman's bid then at £6,800. Provisionally with you, sir, at 6,800. We're nearly there on that one. I'm sure we'll get a deal over the line. What's the paddle number? 581, thank you very much. 581, 6,800, provisional bid. Right, Let me put that one that way. Moving on, we go to lot number 9 then, 2020 in the year. It's the Honda CRF 1100L, the Africa Twin Adventure Sports bike as well. 11,000 miles on the clock, cash bars, bash plate, spotlights, handguards, all singing, all dancing. This one got lots of little bits to go with it. 2020 in the year, lovely looking bike. I don't know, who's got 6,000 to start? £6,000 to start. Anyone coming in for 6? Go to 4 then. 4,000 seems like a good start. £4,000. 4's bid online. We'll go in the 250s again if we can. At 4,000 is bid. At 4,000, 4,000, 4,250 here. Would you go 4,500, sir? 4,500's bid here. 4,750? 4,750 up top. 5,000 down here. 5,000. 5,250. 5,500. 5,500. Say 5,600 and then we'll go 5,800. At 5,005 down the front. Would anyone like 5,600? 5,600 is in. Would you like 5,800? At 5,600 at top, 5,800's back in now, 5,008. At £5,800 is the bid. Would anyone like 6 is in online? £6,000, 6,200. Gentleman's bid now at £6,200. At 6,200, 6,200, 6,200, 2020 in the year. Make no mistake on this one, at just £6,200. I'll take 4 if you're coming back in, but we're going to start counting it down now at £6,200. Gentleman's bid seated then for the first time at £6,200. It's already with you, sir. Won't do it again. 6,200. Some of our competitors might, but we wouldn't here. At 6,200 a bid, once. At 6,200 a bid, then twice. Finishing done, gentleman's bid seated, £6,200. Provisionally with you, sir, at £6,200, and your paddle number is 540, 540. I'm sure the guys over there will tell you where it needs to be, or we'll come back in with another offer. There we go. Moving on to lot number 10. Moving down we go. My screen flips over. There we go. Lot number 10, 1957. It's the Velocette. This time it's the LE MKII. Another lovely looking bike, this one. Have a good look there. It's a cool old retro bike. This one is Birmingham for the British police as well. I've got several commission bids with me. I'm going to go a 100, 200, 300, 350 is bid, and I need 4 next. At 350 we start. At 350, 350 is the bid now at £350. Would anyone like 4? At 350, 350. At £350, 4's bid. My commission bidder's out. At 400, it's online. At £400 now. At 400, 400. Are we finished and done it? Just £400 here. I'll take 50 if anyone's coming in. Cheap little run around this one at just £400 for the first time. £400 then for the second time. No reserve, 450. 450's back in. West Yorkshire, you're in at 450. At £450 is the bid now at 450, 450. Would anyone in the room like to come in for 5? Or online underbidder, you coming back for 1 more? At 450 once. At 450 twice. Hammers up, and away it goes, 5. 5's back in. At £500 is the bid now, 500. At 500, 500, West Yorkshire, you coming back for 1 more. At 500 once. At 500 twice. Hammers up. It's selling now at £500. Finishing done 500. Sold for 500. 16659. 16659. £500. Sold away. Moving on, another no reserve bike. This time it's lot number 11. It's the 1987 Honda MT50 SG there. Lovely example again. About 10,000 miles on the clock on this one. Offered with V5 and it's HPI clear as well. There we go. Where are we up to with this one? Start me off. Lovely little bike. Who's got? I've got commission bids. Going to go 5, 6, 700. We start. Take 8 next. At 700 is the bid now at 7. At 700, 700 is bid. On the commission bid with me, at 700, I'll take 8 if anyone's interested now. At 700 is the bid. At 700, 700, you're thinking about it online. Are you coming in? At 700 is the bid. At 700, 700, with me on the commission book, it's selling away at 700 once, twice, 8 bid. At 800, my commission interest is out. It's with you now in Staffordshire. At £800 is your bid online. At 800, 800, 800. At £800 is the bid now at 800. Would you like 9 if you're coming in? Are we finished and done at £800? Last chance, fair warning, hammers up. Away it sells for the first time, second time. 900. You've changed position. You've confused me, sir. 900. It keeps me aware, doesn't it? It keeps me on my toes. At £900 is your bid. Online, would you like 1,000? At 900 is the bid. At 900, 900. Are we finished and done then? At £900, I'm going to sell once, twice, finished and done with you at £900. 1,000 sneaked in now at £1,000. Would you like 11, sir? At £1,000, you almost had it. A 50, all right. At 1,050, we say okay. At 1,050 is bid. Gentleman's bid. Make it nice and quick online. We'll count it down. At £1,000 once. At £1,000 twice. Gentleman's bid now and selling away online at 1,100's bid. They like the dramatic countdown, sir. At 1,100 is your bid online. Another 50 if you're coming back in. At 1,100, shakes the head then once, twice. Finished and done is with you online at £1,100. Sold at 1,100, 18449. Moving on down we go to lot number 12 this time. Lot number 12 is the 2000 Aprilia RS then 250 MotoGP inspired two-stroke bike, this one. Lovely bike indeed. Looks great there in the pictures then. Who's got £5,000 to start? Lovely looking bike. Surely £5,000 is worth it. I'm going to go with my commission interest then. I'm going to go 3, 250, 3,500. At 3,005 we start. At 3,500, 3,500, 3,500. 3,750 is the bid. At 3,750 and 4,000 back in. At 4,000 now. Take another 250 if you want to go on online. At 4,000, 4,000 is the bid now at 4. At 4,000, 4,000, 250's bid. My commission interest is out. It's with you online now at 4,250. Online bid here at £4,250 at the moment. At 4,250, 4,250. Would you like 4,500? At 4,250 seems cheap to me. At just 4,250 is the bid. At 4,250, 4,250. At 4,250, say 4,300 next, then we'll go in hundreds. 4,300's bid. 4,300. At 4,003, take 4,400. At 4,300 is the bid. Would you like to go 4,400? At 4,004, back in now online. At 4,400 is the bid. At 4,000, 4,004. At 4,400, I'll take 5 if you're coming back in. 4,500, okay. 4,500 is bid. At 4,005. At 4,000, 4,500 is the bid now at 4,500. Online, would you like to go 4,600? At 4,005, 4,600 is back in. At 4,600 is the bid. At 4,600, 4,600, 4,700, thank you. At 4,007. At 4,700 is the bid now, 4,007. At 4,700 online, I'm looking for you. Would you like 4,800? 4,800 is back in online. At 4,008. At 4,000, 4,800 is the bid here at 4,008. At 4,800 bid. 4,900. 4,900, thank you. At 4,900 bid. At 4,905's back in now 5. Online bid at £5,000. At 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. Go 1 again if you're coming back in. At £5,000 is the bid. At 5,000, 5,000 here then online. At £5,000 once. £5,000 twice. Finished and done then with you online at £5,000. We'll submit that bid to the vendor online. That is provisional 11229. 11229. Thank you very much. £5,000 provisionally. Moving on down the list we go to lot number 13 is the 1975 Yamaha. It's the flat tracker, full rebuild to flat track as well. 5-speed gearbox on this one, 4-stroke as well. Start the bidding off with me then at £1,000 is bid. At 1,000, 11, 12, 13, 14, 1,500 online now at 1,500. Let's go 16. At 1,500 a bit. At 1,500, 16's bid. At 1,600, 16 and 17 now. At 1,700, 1,700 online, would you like to go 18? At 1,700 is the bid. At 1,700, 1,700 here online then. At £1,700, are we finished and done at just 17? Online, would you like to go one more 50? We'll go in 50s on this one if you're nice and quick. At 1,700 is the bid. At 1,700 a bid then once. At 1,700 a bid then twice. Last chance. Fair warning. 50. 18. 18, he says. 18. At 18, online 50's back in. 1850 is the bid. At 1850, 1850, we're in Yorkshire at the minute. It's with you at 1,850. 19's back in now, 19. Online, would you like to go 50? 1950, yes please. Telephone looking at you now. At 1950 is the bid. £2,000. At 2,000, 2,000, go one more online if you're coming back in. At 2,000, 2,000, 2,050. 2-1 even better. Try 2-2 if we can. 2,150, all right. At 2,150, he tried. At 2,150, 2-2, two bidders. Online at the minute at 2,002. 2,250, okay. 2,250 is a bid. We'll stay here. At 2,250, nitty gritty time. At 2,250, 2-3. At 2,003. At 2,300 is the bid. 2-4, even better. 2-4, that's how you make an entrance at £2,400. Up that bidding online. Would you like to go 2-5? At 2,004. At 2,000, 2,400 is the bid. Got a keen bidder on the telephone online against you. At 2,005 is back in. At 2,005. And we're selling, so make no mistake. At 2,500 is the bid online. At 2,500, hammers up for the first time then. At 2,500 is with you in Yorkshire. Anyone else coming in now at 2,500, second time it goes then this time at 2,005. Sold at 2,500, online bidder there. With you, bidder number 10609. Moving on down we go to lot number 14, 1975. It's the Honda GL1000 Goldwing this time there. Look at that for a Goldwing. Lovely little example, 1000cc, flat 4 on this one. It's about 28,000 miles on the clock. Even comes with 2 keys, HPI clear, and the V5 as well. Where are we up to? Who's got £1,500 to start? Seems reasonable to me. £1,500 to go, surely. £1,000, thousands bid. At £1,000 is the start. Let's go in hundreds on this one. At £1,000 now. At 1,000, 1,000 is the bid here at £1,000. At 1,000, 1,000 is bid. Anyone coming in for 11? At £1,000 now. 1,100 is bid. 1,100. At £1,100 now, online bidder, you're in. At £1,100 here online at 11. 1,200, thank you. 1,200 against you now online. At 1,200, 1,200. Would anyone like 13? At £1,200, Goldwing at just £1,200. At 1,200 the bid. And 13's back in. At 1,300 a bid. You're in Derbyshire at the minute. It's with you at 1,300. 14's the next bit. 1,400, thank you. At 1,400 bid. At 1,400, 1,400. At £1,400, are we finished and done online? Would you like to come back in for 15? At 1,400, 1,400 is the bid. At 1,400, 1,400, are we finished and done then? At £1,400, I'll take 50 if you're nice and 1,500 is the bid. At 1,500 is with you in Derbyshire. You're back in now. At 1,500, 1,500. 1,600 is the next bid if you're coming in online. At 1,500, 1,500, are we finished and done then? Last chance in fair warning. It's with you online bidder in Derbyshire now. At 1,500, we'll count you down. At 1,500 once. At 1,500 twice. Finished and done then, online bid at £1,500. Provisionally with you online at 1,500, 18371. Moving on to lot number 15, 2007 in the year. Suzuki GSF Bandit. We all love a Bandit. Have a good look at this one as well. What do we got here then? We got 1 key service book, main stand as well. Isle of Man V5. It's the power bronze tall screen as well. Start the bidding off on this one. Who's got £1,000 to start? £1,000 surely. Anyone interested at £1,000 to start me off here? On the Suzuki Bandit, surely £1,000. Thousands bid. £1,000 now. Let's go 11. At 1,000 is the bid now at £1,000. At 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. At £1,000 a bid now, 1,000 is the bid. 1,100 back in now, 11. Thank you, sir. You're in at £1,100 is your bid. At 1,100 the bid. At 1,100, 1,100, 12 if you're coming in. 1,200's bid. At 1,200, 13's back in now, 13. At 1,300, 1,300. At 1,300, 14's bid. 1,400, 14, 15's bid now at 15. At 1,500 is the bid. At 1,500, 1,500, gentleman's bid here then. At £1,500, you coming back in for 16. At 1,500, 1,500. At 15, 16's bid. At 16 the bid. At 16, 16 bid. I'll take 50 if it helps. At £1,600, we'll go to the 50s now. At 1,600 is the bid. At 1,600, 1,600. At 1,600 is the bid now at 16. Are we finished and done? It's your last chance in fair warning. And at 1,600, I'll take 1650? 1650, okay. 1650, looking for you now online, hovering away at home at £1,650. Gentleman's bid here at 1650. At 1650, 1650, we'll count you down online once. That's 17, 17. They like the late entry there at 1700. West Yorkshire again at £1,700. Are we finished and done with you online then at 1700? Once. At 1700 twice. Online bid here at £1,700. Provisionally with you online 17334. 17334. 1700 is a provisional bid there. And we move down, we go to lot number 16, 1991. Another Honda GL 1500 Gold Wing. And it's not any Gold Wing, it's the anniversary edition. I'm going to go over to Mr. Steve Berry to introduce this beautiful bike.
That's right, Tom. The name's Berry, Steve Berry. You're thinking, why the terrible Sean Connery impression? Well, I'll tell you in just a minute. Tom's right, 1991 Goldwing 1500 GL SE. This bike has got everything and more. It's got a backrest for the rider. It's got a backrest for the passenger. It's got an enhanced audio system. Other bikes have got normally 0 aerials. This hasn't just got one, it's got 2. It's got luggage to spare with side panniers, a top box and a rack built in. This is the 6-cylinder Goldwing, built since 1987. This was 91, and when we say anniversary edition, it's the 10th anniversary of Goldwings being built in the United States, because that Ronald Reagan, he put big old tariffs. Yeah, Trump isn't the first with tariffs. Ronald Reagan put a big old tariff on all bikes coming in from Japan over 750cc. So Honda's reply was to build their Goldwing manufacturing plant in Ohio. But it's not just a gold wing. This has got another Bond connection, because its anniversary limited edition number is 007. You could, I'll tell you what, if you bought one of these, Tom, you would definitely be shaken and stirred by the 91 1500 Goldwing SE.
Well, hopefully we stir up some bidding on this one. Then we've got a few things, commissions here. Then I'm going to start the bidding with me. I'm going to go 1,000, 1,250, 1,500, 1,750 to start. At £1,750, I'll take 2 if you're coming in. At 1,750, 1,750. At 1,750, and tours and comfort and everything that comes with this bike. It's glamorous, it's huge, it's massive, and at 1,750 it starts. At 1,750 is the bid. At £1,750 is the bid now at 1,750. At 1,750, 1,750. At 1,750, 1,800. We'll go 19 next. At 1,800 is the bid. At 1,800, 1,800. Take 19 if you're coming in now. At 1,800, 1,800. Would anyone else like to come in for £1,900? 19 they do online. 19's bid. With you online bidder at £1,900. I'll take 2 now. At 1,900 is the bid now at 19. At 1,900, 1,900. At £1,900 is the bid. At 1,900 are we finished and done then? At 19, 2,000, thank you. At £2,000 you're in. At 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. At 2,000 we'll stay in the hundreds now. At £2,000 is the bid. At 2,000, 2,000 is the bid now at 2. Are we finished and done then at £2,000 on this lovely little Goldwing then? At £2,000. It's your last chance in fair warning, coming in for another 100. At 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. Are we finished? 2-1 just in time. Online bid, thank you. At 2,100 is your bid. At 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. At 2,100 the bid, I'll take 2-2 if anyone else is interested now. At 2,100 the bid is here online. At 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. Are we finished and done at just £2,100? Last chance. Fair warning. At 2,100 it goes once. At 2,100 it goes twice. Finished and done then at £2,100 with the online bidder at 2-1. We'll submit that bid for you online, 17118. 2,100 provisional. Moving down we go to lot number 17 then, 2008 Suzuki DL1000. This is the V form, this one, the V Storm there. Nice example, this one is. It's just arrived as well, so don't have much information on my screens here. So where are we up to with this one then? Start me off. Who's got £2,000 to start? 2008 in the year. Suzuki DL1000. How about 1500 then? 1500 to kick it off, surely. Lovely bike here. £1,500 to start. 15's bid, thank you online. At 1500, 1500. At 1500 is the bid. 16 bid now at 16. At 1600 is the bid. At 1600, 1600, 17 if you're coming back in. At 1600, 1600, the bid is here online with you locally in Cheshire at £1,600. At 1600, 1600, 17's bid, back in now at 17. 2 online bidders at the minute at 1700. At 1700, 1700. Are we finishing done at £1,700? At 1,700 is the bid. At 1,700, 1,700, online bidder. Are you coming back in for one more? At 17 bid. Yes, okay, 1750 on the telephone, screaming away at 1750. At 1750, 1750. At 1,750, 18 if you're coming back in now. Telephone bidder, right-handed now at 1,750. Would anyone like £1,800? It's your last chance in fair warning. Once. At 1,750 with you. Twice. Finishing done then at £1,750. Provisionally with you at 1,750. 1,750. Provisional bid. 2003 bidder number on the telephone there. Provisional bid at 1,750. Moving on down the list we go. This time it's the 2005 Aprilia lot number 18. It's the SL1000 Falco. There we go. Another lovely bike this one is. Have a good look at that one. Look at the colouring. It looks beautiful. Looks glorious there. Love the livery on this one as well. Start me off 1,000, 11, 12, 1,200 we start. At £1,200 is the bid. At 1,200, 1,200 bid now at 12. At 1,200 is the bid. At 1,200, 1,200. Would anyone like 13? At £1,200 here. At 1,200 is the bid now at 12. And 13 bid. At 1,300, 1,300. At £1,300 and 14's back in now at 14 in Liverpool. It's with you. At 1,400 is the bid. At 1,400, 1,400. 15 if you're coming back in. At 1,400, 1,400 is the bid now at 14. At 1,400, 1,400. 15's bid online. At 1,500, 1,500. At 1,500, I'm looking at you on the telephone. Are you coming in on this one? At £1,500 or our bidder in Liverpool, would you like to go again? At 1,500, 1,500. Are we finished? Are we done? At £1,500. Thinking about it online. Now's your chance. It's now or never then. At £1,500, we'll count you down once. 16's bid. At 1,600 is back in now at 16. At 1,600, 1,600. Would you like to go 17? That's a new bidder in at £1,600 as well. At 1,600 is the bid. At 1,600, are we finished? Are we done? At 1,600, the bid then once. 17 back in now, Yorkshire bidder, you're in. At 1,700 is the bid. At £1,700, online bid has it now at £1,700. 18 if you're coming in. Are we finishing done at £1,700? We'll count you down then at 1,700 once. 18 bid now, 18. At 1,800, 1,800 underbidder, would you like to go 19? Make it nice and quick for me if you can. At 1,800 is the bid. At 1,800, 1,800, are we finished? Are we done? It's your last chance in fair warning then. At £1,800 once. At £1,800 the bid then twice. Finishing done with you online at £1,800. Last chance in fair warning, 18. Provisionally with you online, 10759, 10759, 1,800 provisional bid. Moving on to lot number 19 this time then, we go to the 1990 Honda MT50. Lovely little bike, offered today with no reserve. I'm going to go in straight away at £500. At 500 is the bid. At 500, 500 is 6 if you're coming in now. At 5 is bid. At 500, 500, 500. At £500 is the bid now at 5. It sells today. It's no reserve, so make no mistake, online bidders. At 500 is the bid. At 500, 500, 6 bid, sir, I see you. At 600, gentleman's bid now. At £600, online, are you coming back in? My commission interest is out. You're in at £600 the bid. At 600, 600, 600, gentleman's bid here, no reserve, it's going to go at £600. I'll put the hammer up then at 600. Are we finished? Are we done? Seven's back in. New bidder online. At 700 a bid. Go 50 if it helps. At 750, thank you. At 750's bid. Make it nice and quick, underbidder, if you're coming back in. We're only in 50s. You don't need time to think about this. At £750 the bid then once. At 750 to bid then twice. Hammers up and away it goes. This time then at £750 online. Finished and done. Oh, 800's in. £800 is the bid. 50 again if you want to go again, sir. At 800 a bid. At 800, 800 is the online bid here. Are we finished? Are we done? We'll count you down. Online bid, 800 once. 800 twice. Hammers up, you sure? Sold at 800, 16659. Thank you, 16659. £800 sold away. Yes. Moving on to lot number 20. Have a good look, ladies and gentlemen. 2008 Ducati. Whoa, look at that. That's a monster. As far as Ducatis go, they don't get much better than this, ladies and gentlemen. The road legal MotoGP Ducati then. Looks stunning, looks great. It's had £30,000 worth of receipts on upgrades. 2 owners as well. 2,900 on the clock. Where are we up to? Start me off. Who's got 30,000 to start? I'll tell you what, I've got 30,000 to start. 30,000 is bid. Let's go 2. At 30,000, 30,000. At 30,000, 30,000 is the bid now at £30,000. On the commission interest here at £30,000 is the bid. At 30,000, 30,000, 2. 34, 35, 36 is bid now at £36,000 we're up to. I'll take 7 if you're coming in. At £36,000 is the bid. At 36,000 on my commission interest now at £36,000 is the bid here at 36,000. Would anyone like to come in for one more? At £36,000 is the bid. Are we finished? Are we done? At £36,000 then once. At £36,000 then twice. Last chance in fair warning then at £36,000. We'll submit the bid to the vendor. If you left that commission bid at £36,000, 3009, we will submit that bid provisionally to the vendor there. And I'll pass that one over, and we move down to lot number 21. Lot number 21, 2019 CCM Spitfire flat tracker there. Whoa, the Skunks Works limited edition as well. Looks great, doesn't it? Where are we up to on this one? Start me off. Anyone got £4,000 to start? 4,000 to come in on this one. Lovely looking bike, just £4,000 to start it off today. 4,000. How about £3,000 to start then? No interest on my book on this one. 3,000, who's going to get it underway? 3's bid, thank you, sir. Before you online at £3,000. Gentleman's bid, let's go 3,250 next. At 3,000 is the bid. 3,250 online, 3,500. 3,500, gentleman's bid now at 3,500. At 3,000, 3,500 is the bid. Online, would you like to go 750? At 3,500, gentleman's bid. 3,750. 3,750 and 4. 4,000's back in. Thank you again, sir. At £4,000. At 4,000, 4,000, 4,000. At 4,000, 250. 4,250, 4,500. Online, looking for you now. At 4,500, gentleman's bid. I'll take 4,600 if it tempts you back in. But at £4,500 is a gentleman's bid at 4,500. Would anyone like 4,600? At 4,000, 4,500, are we finished and done then? At 4,500, we'll count you down. At 4,500, it goes once. At 4,500, the bid. It goes twice. At £4,500, finished and done then. Gentleman's bid. 4,600, new bidder entirely, endorse it at 4,600. 4,700, sir, will you? 4,700, thank you. At 4,007, Dorset bidder, would you like to go again? At 4,007. At 4,700 a bid, then 4,007 is bid with the gentleman here for the first time at £4,700. for the second time at £4,700, all finished, all done, 4,700. Provisionally with you, sir, at £4,700 to paddle number 587. Right, let's move on down the list we go to lot number 22. Lot number 22 is the 1988 in the year. It's the Yamaha FZR250. Lovely looking bike, this one. About 9,000 kilometers on the clock, low mileage as well. Simply a winter restoration project, V5, current MOT until the 27th of October 25. So where are we up to with this one then, ladies and gentlemen? No reserve, must go today. And it looks absolutely great in its white as well, with all the white little details, the white rims and the white bodywork. It looks great. I don't know. Who's got £500 to start? 500 seems cheap to me. £500, anyone interested at 5? £500, surely. Coming in, started off, £500. Yes. 500's bid, thank you online. Let's go 600 next. At 500 is the bid. At 500, I'm bid 6 if you're coming in. 6. At 500 a bid. I'll take 50 if you want. At 500 a bid, it's gonna sell today. Online bid at the minute of £500. At 500, 500, 500. Are we finishing done then? At £500. I'll take 50 if anyone wants to jump in on this one. 550's bid, thank you. At 550, your bid. 600 if you're coming in online, make it nice and quick. 600, thank you. At 600 a bid. At 600, online bidder here. At 600, shaking the head in the room. At 600, 600 is with you online. No reserve, it's going to be sold. At £600, are we finished, are we done? Last chance. Fair warning then. Hammers up. Once, twice, finished and done, and selling with you online at £600. Sold at 600, 1069, I think it was. Yes, thank you, 1069, 600 sold away. Moving on down, we go to lot number 23. Lot number 23 is the 2018. It's the Harley Davidson. It's the Fat Bob, the 114 aggressive bad boy American cruiser. Look at that one. Probably one of my favorite bikes in today's sale. An absolute mean machine this is. And I got several commission bids on the book with me. Going to start it at 5,000, 5,500, 6,000 is bid, and we'll take 6,500 next. At 6,000 is the bid. At 6,000, 6,000, 6,000. Look how great this bike looks at just £6,000 is the bid. At 6,000, 6,000 is the bid now at 6. At 6,000, 6,000, 6,000, 2018 in the year. Harley Davidson, the Fat Bob here at just £6,000. 6,500 if you're coming in. 6,500, thank you. 7,000 back to me. At 7,000, 7,000, we'll take 5 again. At 7,000, 7,000, tell you what, we'll take 250 if it helps you out. Who wants the quarter now? At £7,000 is the bid. At 7,000, 7,000, 7,000. At £7,000 is the bid now at 7. 7,250, thank you. 7,500 back to me though, at 7,005. At 7,000, 7,005. At 7,500 is the bid now, 7,500. Would you like the quarter again? The yes please, they say. 8,000's my bid though, at £8,000 we're in. At 8,000, 8,000 is the bid. Would anyone else like a quarter now? At 8,000, 8,000, 8,000. Are you coming back in for one more? Says no. 8,000 is the bid with me on the book. At 8,000, 8,000 online, would you like to come in for one more? At £8,000, make no mistake then, we'll submit the bid at £8,000 once, twice. Finished and done then at £8,000. Provisionally with my commission bidder 3003. If you are the commission bidder who left that at £8,000, it is provisional, but we will be in touch very shortly. Moving on down we go. Lot number 24, 1975 Suzuki TR750 Evocation, and over to Steve Berry.
What a good-looking bike, and we've had so much interest in this machine, largely based on the erroneous information that I've been giving you on the preview videos. I've been back to school, I've done my homework, and I've spoken to the owner and found out that this is not, in fact, as I may previously have stated, the Flexi Flyer frame, which was infamous back in the day because it was so difficult to contain the amount of power that this 3-cylinder Suzuki engine in race form could generate. It is, in fact, the lowboy frame, which is based very similar to a street bike frame, easy to fabricate. So don't worry, it's not the one that only Barry Sheen could master back in the day. This is the 1975 bike with the bigger fuel tank. It's a great looking bike, and this is one of the things that I say about being able to come down to the sale here at Manor Park in Runcorn, if you possibly can. If you're interested in a bike of this standard, you'll be able to get up close and personal with it and see what a high standard, Tom, this bike has been built to. An evocation, it's not the real thing, but it is eligible for Formula 750 racing and parade laps, and it's been doing quite a bit of that. And I'll tell you what, find a better looking bike than Barry's. I dare you. I double dare you.
It looks great indeed, Steve. Look at it there, shining away under its lights now. Look at that. Look how beautiful it looks under those spotlights as well. What a great piece to put on show. What a great piece to ride. What a great piece to race. Where are we up to? Start me off on this one. I'm going to go with my commission bidder in 8,000, 8,500. I'll take 9,000 if we're coming in now. At 8,500 is my commission bidder. At 8,500. At 8,500 a bid now, 8,500. At 8,500 is the bid here at 8,500. Have a good look, ladies and gentlemen. Don't miss out now. At 8,500 is the bid. At 8,500, 9's in. 9,500 back to me. At 9,500. At 9,500 is the bid now at 9,500. 10,000's in. At 10,000, 10,000 online bid. I'm out now at £10,000. At 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. Would anyone like another 5? At 10,000 is the bid now at 10,000. Are we finishing done? The bid is with you, online bidder, at £10,000. We'll go in 250s if it helps anyone out on this one. At £10,000, would anyone like a small bite now? At 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. At £10,000 is the bid. At 10,000, finishing done then. Last chance in fair warning. At £10,000, make no mistake, last chance, fair warning. At £10,000, once, twice, finished done, £10,000. Provisionally online bidder, 1047, that's provisionally with you, online bidder. Let me pass that one over to there. Moving on to lot number 25. Lot number 25 here is 2001 VTR 1000 SP1 Castrol Honda there. It's the SP2 Superbike replica, this one is. It's done about 13,000 miles. Power command with custom mapping on this one. Harris high level titanium exhausts as well. It's got quite a lot with it, this one then. Starting with me, commission bid is in at £3,500 we start. At £3,500 is the bid. 4,000? 4,000's bid. I'm out. At £4,000. At 4,000 we start. At 4,000, 4,000 is the bid. I would take the gentleman's bid here at 4,000. I'll take quarters now online. At 4,000 is the bid. At 4,000, 4,000, 4,000. You coming in for 250. At 4,000 is the bid. Gentleman's bid now at £4,000. Are we finishing done at just 4,000? Have a good look there. At £4,000 is the bid. I'll take 4-1 if anyone wants to jump in nice and quick. Got to be fair to the gentleman. He's bid £4,000. At 4,000 for the first time, then at 4. At 4,000, 4,000 for the second, 4-1. 4-1's in. Would you like 4-2? 4-2, thank you. At 4-2 you do. At 4,200, gentleman's bid now at 4-2. At £4,200 we're bid. At 4-2, 4-2, 4-2. Online, you coming back in for 4-3, yes please. At 4,003. At 4,300, would you like 4-4? 4,004. At 4,004 is the bid. At 4,004. At 4,004, I seen a flash then. At 4,004, I did. At 4,500. At 4,500 is bid. At 4,600, 4,600 back in. At 4,600 is the bid now at 4,600. Online, would you like to go 4,700? At 4,600, 4,600. At 4,600 is the bid now at 4,600. Are we finished and done then? At 4,600, if you're coming in, now's your chance. At 4,000, 4,600, the bid then once. At 4,600, the bid then twice. Finished and done then, gentleman's bid at £4,600. We'll submit that bid to the vendor there, sir, at 251. Thank you, 251. And that is 251, 4,600 provisional. Moving on down, we go to lot number 26 then. Lot number 26, 2019 Honda CRF250L. Virtually unused, only 204 miles showing on the clock. Got the owner manual, service book, one previous owner, data tag as well, HPI clear, V5 there, all of that included. Going to open it straight up with my bid at £2,000. £2,000 is bid. At 2,000, 2,000 is the bid now at 2,000. 200s if you're coming in on this one. Would anyone like 2-2? At 2,000 is the bid. At 2,000, 2-2's bid now, gentleman's bid. At 2,002, I'm out. At 2,002, you're in. At 2,200 is bid. At 2,000, 2,002. Would anyone like 2-4? Is that a bid, sir? 2-4, thank you. At 2,004, take 2-5. At 2,400 a bid. 2-5. At 2,005, would you like 2-6? At 2-6 is bid. At 2,600, gentleman's bid here at 2,006. Shakes the head then. With you, sir, at 2006. I seen online flicker of interest. Would you like 2007? Now's your chance online if you're coming in. At 2,600, gentlemen seated in the middle. At 2,000, 2,600, are we finished and done? At 2007's bid. At 2,700 in the West Midlands now. At 2,7. At 2007, would you like 2,8? At 2,700, shaking the head again. At 2,000, 2,700. What about a 50, sir? Still a no. At 2,700 is bid. It's with you in the West Midlands then. At 2,700. Would anyone like to come in for a small bike now? At 2,750, just before you, Ness, I've seen the hand go up there. Gentleman's hand went up there. 2,750's bid. Online, 2 bidders now. Would you like 2,8? At £2,750 to the gentleman here. At 2,750 is the bid. At 2,750, 2,750. Online, you coming back in. Make it nice and quick if you are. At 2,750 to bid then once. At 2,702, 8's back in now at 2,8. At 2,800 is the bid. We'll stay in the 50s though if you're coming back in. Yorkshire bidder, you're in. At £2,800 is your bid. At 2,000, 2,008. At £2,800 is the bid now at 2,008. One more 50 if you're coming in. At 2,800 is the bid then once. At 2,800 is the bid then twice. All finished, all done. Online bid at £2,800. Very close online. We'll see what we can do for you. 5612 at 2,800. Moving on down we go to lot number 27 then. Lot number 27 is this lovely 1972 Honda CB350F. This one is, and it's front discs and rear drum brakes, 5-speed gearbox, electric start, very original example as well. Where are we up to on this one? Who's got £1,500 to start? Surely, £1,500 to start it off today. 1,500. Who's coming in? Kick it off, get it going. £1,500. £1,000 then, surely. £1,000 for a lovely bike. Thousands bid. Thank you, sir. You're in. At £1,000 is the bid now at 1,000. Gentleman's bid seated. Is that 11? 11's bid. £1,100 now. £1,100 Yorkshire bidder again. That's 1,100. Would you like 12, sir? 1,200. Thank you. At 1,200 is the bid. At 1,200, 1,200, 1,200. Yorkshire bidder, you coming back for no need. 13 in the back right. At 13 bid. At 1,300, 1,300. At 1,300, take the 50 if you want. At 1,300, 1,300. At 1,300 is the bid. Are you coming in now online 1,350? They say yes, please. It's against you now, sir. It's online at 1,350. Would you like 1,400? At 1,350 bid. At 1,350, 1,400 new bidder. Thank you again. At 1,400 is the bid now at 14. At 1,400, 1,400, who'd like 50 now? At 1,400 is the bid. Cheap little bike this at just £1,400. Online or anywhere else in the room. You coming in for one more? At 1,450, they say yes, please, online. At 1,450. At 1,450, 1,450, 1,500's back in. At 1,500 is the bid. At 1,500, 1,500, we'll stay in the 50s, don't you worry online. At 1,500 is 50 if you're coming back in. At 1,500 is bid. 1,550. At 1,550, 1,550. At £1,550 is the online bid. 16 again, thank you again, sir. At £1,600, gentleman's bid now. At 1,600 is the bid. At 1,600, 1,600. Would anyone else like to come in now? At 1,600, looking for you online. 1,650, yes, please. At 1,650, 1,650. At 1,650 is the bid here at 1,650. Would anyone else like 1,700 now? At 1,650 is the bid. 1,700, thank you again, sir. At 1,700 is your bid. At 1,700, 1,700. Don't leave it so late this time online, you might miss out. At 1,700 is the bid. Are we finished and done then? At 1,700 once. At 1,700 twice. Last chance, fair warning, gentleman's bid at £1,700. That bid's with you, sir, at 1,700. It is provisional, but only just at £1,700. And it is bidder number 540. Thank you very much, 540. Right, moving on to lot number 28. Lot number 28, 1969 Lambretta. Already sold away prior to the auction there. So we'll move straight down and away to lot number 29 is up next then. Lot number 29 is the 1999. It's the Ducati 900 SS final edition as well. The final edition here then. 20,000 showing on the clock. UK bike. Valves done at 18,000, 3050. We go to the V5. Lots of paperwork, which you've probably all seen if you've had a good look at this. Lovely looking bike as well. Presents really well there. Looks great again. Start me off on this one. Who's got £4,000 to start? 4,000 surely is a good starting bid on this Ducati. The final edition. £4,000 surely. I'll go to 3, but I won't go any lower. So £3,000. £3,000 if you want to come in today. Coming in for 3. 3 is bid. Yes. 3,000, let's go 2. 3-2's bid. At 3,002. At 3-2's the bid now. At 3,200 is the bid. At 3-2, 3-2, 3-2. At 3,200, I'll take 4. At 3,002 is the bid now. At 3,002. Online bid here at 3,200 the bid. At 3-2, 3-2, 3-2. At 3,200 is the bid now. At 3,002, 3-4. 3-4 new bidders in. At £3,400. At 3-4, 3-4, 3-4. A lovely Ducati at just 3,400 is the bid. At 3,004. 3-6. Gentleman's bid waving away. At 3,600. Thank you, sir. At 3,006. At 3,000, 3,600 is the bid now. At 3,006, 3.8 if you're coming back in now. At 3,008, yes please. At 3.8 online bidder, you're in. At 3,008 in Devon. At 3,800 is the bid now. At 3,008. At 3,000, 3,800, 4 if you're coming back in for one more. At 3,800 is the bid. Are we finishing done then? Online bid at 3,800. I'll take 3.9. 3.9, thank you, sir. At 3.9 bid. Gentleman's bid now at 3,009. At 3,000, 3,900 is the bid. Would anyone else like £4,000? At 3.9, 3.9, 3.9. Are we finishing done then at 4,000? New bidder there, somewhere in the United Kingdom. At 4,000 is with you. We'll stay in the hundreds now. At 4,000 is the bid. At 4,000, 4,000, 4,000. Would you like another 100, sir? 4-1, thank you. Yes, please. Not with you online. Just before you, gentleman's bid. I got the nod first. At 4,001. I think you're up against 2 or 3 of them online here, sir. At 4,001 is the bid. Online bidders, you coming back in for 4.2. Make it nice and quick if you are. At 4,100 is the bid. We shouldn't need to think about it as such little money. 4.2's bid. 4.2 online's back in West Midlands. At 4,200 is the bid. At 4.2, 4.2, 4.2. At 4,200, I'll take 4.3 if anyone's coming back in. At 4,200 is the bid. At 4,002, would you like 4.3? At 4,200 is the bid now. At 4,002, finished and done then. We'll count you down. 4.3, new bidders back in now. 4.3. At 4,300 is the bid. At 4.3, 4.3, 4.3. At 4,300 is the bid now. At 4,003, I'll take 4 if you're coming in for one more. At 4,300, 4.4. Gentlemen's again got the nod first, just before you online. We will take the priority of the people in the room. They've made the effort to come, but 4.5 if you want to come back in online. At 4,004. At 4,400 is the bid now. At 4,004. It's your last chance in fair warning. Looking at you now. At 4,400, I'll hit you once. 4.5. 4.5's bid. At 4,500 is the bid now. At 4,005. At 4,000, 4,500, West Midlands bidders back in at 4.5. At 4,500, I'll take 4.6 if anyone's coming back in. At 4,005, are we finishing done at 4.5? Last chance. Fair warning then. With you in the West Midlands, 4.6. Gentleman's back in. Thank you again, sir. At 4,600 is the bid now. At 4,006. At 4,600 is bid. At 4.6, 4.6, 4.6. Make it nice and quick now online. If you're coming back in, we'll count you down. At 4,600, it goes once. At 4,600, it goes twice. Make no mistake, finishing done at £4,600. Your bid, sir, at £4,600. It is a provisional bid, and that is to your paddle number. 581, thank you, 581. Moving on down, we go to lot number 30 this time then, 2005, a Harley Davidson. It's the Road King, a unique ultra cruiser with its supercharger as well. Look at that, lovely bike again. Monstrous things these Harley Davidsons are. Start me off with my commission bid, straight in at 5,000 we're bid. At 5,000 is the bid now at 5. At 5,000, 5,000 is the bid. At £5,000 with my commission bidder, say 5,200 next if you're coming in. At 5,000, 5,000 is the bid now at 5. At 5,000, 5,200 if you want to come in on this one. At £5,000 is the bid. At 5,000, 5,000 maiden bid with me then. At £5,000, is that all we're going to see? Last chance, fair warning. If you're coming in, then come in now. 5-2, they say yes, please. 5-2. 5-4's back to me. At 5,004. At 5,000, 5,004. 5-6 is bid. Gonna go 5-8. 5-8, I need to see £6,000 if you're coming back in. One more might do it online. At 5,008, 6,000, and you've done my commission bidder out there at 6,000 is your bid. At £6,000. At 6,000, 6,000, 6,000. At £6,000 is the bid now at 6,000. At 6,000, 6,000, 6,000. I'll take 200 if anyone's coming in from this point. At £6,000, the bid is here online. At 6,000, 6,000, 6,000. I'll take 100 if it brings anyone else back in or any of the underbidders want to come back in on this one. At £6,000. At 6,000, 6,000. Are we finished and done then? With you online at £6,000, we'll count you down. Once. 6, 1 up top, new bidder. That's how you make an entrance, sir. Welcome, nice to see you. At 6,001. At 6,100 is the bid. At 6,000, 6,100 is the bid now at 6,001. Are we finished and done? At 6,001, underbidder online, are you coming back in? At 6,100 once. 6,002, 6,2 bid. At 6,200 is the bid now at 6,002. At 6,000, 6,200 new bidder. At 6,200, are we finished and done then? We'll submit the bid to the vendor at 6,200. Last chance in fair warning at £6,200. We'll submit your bid, sir. 652, thank you, 652. Right, moving on to lot number 31 in the sale then. 1981 is the Yamaha RD80. Lovely little bike this is. Have a good look there. Looks like a lovely clean example. I'm going to go straight in with my commission bid at £400 on this one. I'll take 5. At 400 we start. 500's bid. I'm out already. Online's in at 6. Would you like 7, sir? At 600 is the bid. At 600, 600, 600. Online's in at 6. 7, 7. Online, would you like 8? At 700, 700. Right-handed then on the telephone at £700. I'll tell you what, we'll take 50. 750. Gentleman's bid at £750. Thank you, sir. 750. At 750, 750, 750. At 758. Sorry, before you, I've seen the gentleman's bid at 800. Would you like 50, sir? 850. 900. At 900 here. Look for you now on the telephone. At 900, we'll take 50 again. It's on sale if that sharpens anyone up then. At 900, 950 now. At 950, would anyone like £1,000? At 950, it's going to sell today. At 950, 950, thousands bid. At £1,000, make it nice and quick, Will. At £1,000, shaking the head. At £1,000 is the bid. Gentleman's bid here in the middle then. Once, twice, finished and done. At £1,000. Your bid at £1,000. You got yourself one in eventually there, sir. What was your paddle number? 77. Thank you very much. Moving on down we go to lot number 32, 1984, Yamaha RD500 LC, new built, pre-production bike, and what a better person to introduce this one than Steve Berry.
Tom, it's a privilege to be able to offer this bike for sale. There's a special story that goes with it. 1984 to 86, Yamaha built the RD500 LC, a road bike inspired by the race bikes, the two-stroke race bikes that had changed motorcycle racing, bringing in American riders. They were backing it in, they were dragging the knee. It was a long way from Agor and Mike Halewood and all that. They built the RD500 LC as a tribute. It's not the same bike. It's not really a race bike at all. It's twin crank, it's got a balance shaft. There's all sorts of stuff about the RD that make it... You don't want a race bike on the road. I've tried it. It doesn't work. You want a road bike that worked like the RD500. But this is a very special RD500 because based on a pre-production frame, it has been built up using only new old stock parts. The guy spent 20 years bringing the parts together, and he made sure that he catalogued the whole process. He wrote everything down, all the barcodes, all the receipts, all the numbers, every single nut and bolt, Mitsui Yamaha, new old stock. It will never happen again. It could never happen again. This is a unique opportunity. And I say again, Tom, it's a privilege to have this bike in our sale. It really is.
All right, then, let's find out how much it's worth, shall we? The 1984 Yamaha there. Don't need any description on this one. Steve's done all the hard work. Starting me off, who's got £30,000 to go? Surely £30,000 doesn't seem too far off to me. £30,000. We'll go to 20 then. Needs to be £20,000 to kick it off today. Have a good look. Do not miss out on this one. Look at everything it comes with. 20,000 online bids in. Let's go 21. At 20,000 now. At 21 bid. At 21. At 21,000 is the bid now at £21,000 online. Would you like 22? 22, yes please. New bidders in at £22,000 with you in Cornwall at the minute. At 22. At £22,000 is the bid now at 22,000. Would you like 23? At 22. At £22,000 is the bid now at 22. At 22, are we finished and done at just £22,000? Surely not. At 22,000 is the bid. At 22. At 22,000 is the bid now at £22,000. I'll take 23 if you're coming in. At 22. At £22,000. At 22 the bid. At 22, you're thinking about it online. It's now or never. At £22,000. I'll tell you what, we'll take 500s. We won't go any lower on the income, but we'll drop it to 500 if it brings you back in. At 22,000 is the bid. At £22,000. At 22, are we finished and done then? At £22,000, online bid here at £22,000. We will submit the bid to the vendor today, make no mistake. At £22,000 once. At £22,000 twice. Last chance. Fair warning at just £22,000. Online bidder, we will submit that to the vendor. We are a little way off, so it might be a bit of a negotiation there. That is 1084. We will submit that bid to the vendor for you online. And we will be in touch very shortly. Moving on down, we go to lot number 33 is the 1978 Yamaha DT400. Nice original low mileage example of a bike this one is. Have a good look at the yellow on that one. Looks great in yellow, doesn't it? Where are we up to on this one? Start me off. Who's got 2,000 to start? Anyone got 2,000? 5-speed gearbox, kickstart, front and rear drum brakes on this one as well. Start me off, £1,000 then. £1,000, won't go any lower. £1,000 to start, thousands bid. At 1,000 now. At 1,000, let's say 1,200 next. At £1,000 bid. At £1,000 is the bid now at 1,000. At 1,000 is the bid. 1,200's in online. At 1,200, would you like 14, sir? At 1,200 is the bid. Big jump, I know. At 1,200, I'll take 13 as soon as it's you. 1,300, thank you. At 1,300 is the bid. At 1,300, 14 if you're coming back in. At 1,300 is the bid now at 13. At 13, 14's bid. At 1,400, locally in Cheshire at the minute. Would you like 15, sir? 1,500 bid. At 1,500. At 1,500 is the bid. At 1,500, 16 if you're coming back in online. Make it nice and quick if you do. At 1,500 is the gentleman's bid here at 15. At 1,500, are we finished and done? At £1,500, I'll take 16 if anyone wants to jump in now. At 1,500 then, gentleman's bid here at 1,500, 16. 1,600 is the bid. At 1,600, 16, would you like 17, sir? Half already? 1,650, all right. At 1,650 is the bid. At 1,650. Online. They've started something. Would you like 17? Last chance. Fair warning then. Gentleman's bid. 17 is bid. At 1,700 is the bid. Now 17. One more 50, sir. You've come this far. You started the games. 1,750 bid. At 1,750 back in. At 1,750 is the bid now at 1,750. At 1,750, 1,750. I'll take 1,800 if you... 1,800. 1800 is the bid, shaking the head now. 1850, gentleman's bid, new bidder, back in at 1850. Take 19 if you're coming back in. At 1850, shouldn't need to think about it. We're only in £50 increments here. At 1850, 19's in online. At 1900, 1950, sir, one more. At 1900 is an online bid. At 1950, back in. 1950, thank you again. At 1950, 1950. At £1,950, we're bid now at 1950. Would anyone like £2,000? At 1950, 1950, are we finished and done then? At 1950, we'll count you down online. At 19 and 2 bid. At 2,000, new bidder entirely at £2,000. At 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, we'll stay in the 50s for you though, at £2,000. At 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, are we finished and done at £2,000? Great looking bike for just £2,000. We'll count you down then. 2,050. No need. 2,050. At 2,050, would you like 2-1? 2-1, yes please. 2-1's bid. Where's that to? At 2,100. Please select. Not selected, obviously. At 2,100 online bid. Somewhere in the United Kingdom, I imagine. At 2,001. 2,150, gentlemen's back in. At 2,150, 2,150. At 2,150, 2-2. At 2,002. At 2-2 is the bid now at 2,200. Would you like another 50, sir? Thank you. At 2,250 is bid. At 2,250 to bid now, 2,250. Online 2-3 if you're coming back in. At 2,250 to bid. Are we finished and done then? At 2,250, we'll count you down online. At 2,250 to bid then once, twice. Finished and done. Gentleman's bid here at £2,250. Provisionally with you, sir, at 2,250. And that is paddle number 77, isn't it? Yeah, 77. Right then, just make that a little more like a 7. Right, moving down to lot number 34 then is the 1980. The Montesa Cota 349, no reserve, 2-stroke bike then. Oh, where are we up to with this one? Start me off. I've got a couple of commission bids on the book. Let's see. Has anyone got £500 to start me off? £500. 500. 600 with my commission bidder. At £600 is bid. My commission bid at 6. I'll take 7 if you're coming back in online. 7. Commission bidders out. You're in at £700 we start. Merseyside bidders in at 700 is the bid. At 700, 700. Would anyone like 8 now? At £700 is the bid now 7. At 700, 700. At £700 is bid with you in Merseyside. I'll take 50s from this point then. It's no reserve. It's going to go today. At 700 is the bid. At 700, 700. 750 bid now 750. At £750 is the bid. Underbidder, would you like to go 8? At £750 is the bid now at 750. At 750 the bid now 750 online here. Would anyone like to come in for another 50? 800's next. Last chance. Fair warning. Hammers up and away it sells. This time then at £750. Sold at 750. 523 takes it. 523, 750. Moving on down we go. We got another one then, this time 1980s again. The Montesa Cota then we go, and it's the 335 this time, no reserve, 2-stroke trials bike. Start me off on this one again. Who's got £500 to start? Surely, 500 seems like a good place to start to me. £500. 5's bidding away online. At 500 is the bid now at 5. At 500, 500 is bid. At £500 online bidder here at 5. At 500 is the bid now at £500. At 500, 500, 500, let's go 6 if anyone wants to jump in. At 500 is the bid. At 500, 500, I'll tell you what, we'll take 50 if you're nice and quick. We'll go in the 50s on this one. No reserve, must be sold today again. 550. 550 bid. At £550 is the bid now at 550. 600 if you're coming back in for one more. At 550, 550 with you online. At 550, 550. At £550 is the bid now at 550. Are we finished and done then? At just 5, 6 bid now 600. Online, would you like to go 50? At 600 is the bid. 50, 650 here, 700, 2 room bidders now. At 700 is the bid. At 700, 700 is the bid now at 7. All having a good look at it now at £700, gentleman's bid. Would you like another 50, sir? 750. 8, 800 bid. At £800 is the bid now at 8. It's against you. It's at the back at 800. Would you like another 50? No, thank you, he says. Your bid, sir, at £800. I'll count you down online. Once, twice. Finished 850 sneaking in online at 850. Would you like 900? Thank you for your fast bidding, sir. At 900 is the bid. At 900, 900. At 900 is the bid then once online. At 900 is the bid then twice. Hammers up. We're selling now at £900. Finishing done 900. Sold with you, sir, at £900. I will need to see your paddle number again quickly, though. So just get your paddle number if possible. 581, thank you very much. 581. Moving on down, we go to lot number 36 is up next. And lot number 36 is the 1980, is the MZ TS Twin Shock Trials bike. We love a Trials bike here, especially one like this. Look at that, looks great, doesn't it? 1980s then. Where are we up to on this one? Start me off, who's got £500? 500, I'm gonna start at £500. At 500 with me. At 500 is the bid, we'll take 6. At 500 is the bid now at 5. At 500, 500 is bid. At £500 is the bid now at 5. Would anyone like 6 on this one? At 500, 500, 600's bid. 700 back to me. At £700 is the bid now at 7. At 700, 700, I'll take 8 if you're coming back in. At 700 is the bid. At 700, 700 here on the Trials bike at 7. At 700, 700, we finished and done. 8. 800, I'm gonna have to go 9, but I'll take 50 if you wanna come back in. At 900 is the bid. With my commission interest here at £900. At 900, 900. At 900, are we finished and done then? Commission bidders taking it away. At £900 is the bid now 9. Are we finished? Are we done? It's your last chance in fair warning. We'll count you down. At 900 once. At 900 twice. All finished, all done at £900. My commission bidder, 3007 there, 3007, £900 is a provisional bid, only just there. I'm pretty sure we'll get that one over the line very soon. And when I say we'll get that one over the line, this is what we do at Manor Park. Lot number 21, the CCM Spitfire flat tracker, now sold away for £4,700. Look how quickly we get those results back to you, ladies and gentlemen. Bid with confidence when it comes to the provisionals. We submit to the vendor and we will get answers and we will get results. Moving on to lot number 37, 1998 this time. Suzuki GSXR750, slingshot, outstanding example as well. Another lovely bike. Look how good looking this one is. The livery on it looks great as well. In the Suzuki blue and white colours, starting with me at £3,000. At 3,000 we start. At 3,000, we'll say 2 on this one if we can. At 3,000 is the bid. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. At £3,000 is the bid now at 3. I'll take 200 if you're coming in. 3-2's bid. At 3,002, 3-4 is my bidder. At 3,004. At 3,400 is the bid now 3,004. Would you like 3-6 online? At 3,400, 3,004. I'll take 3-5 if it brings you back in online bidder. At 3,400 is the bid now at 3-4. At 3,000, 3,400 is bid. Would you like to go 3-5? Last chance in fair warning, 3-5's bid. Back in now at 3,005. 3-6 with me. At 3,006. At 3,600 is the bid now at 3,006. At 3,006, 3-7 back in. At 3,700 is the bid now at 3-7. 3-8 back to my commission bidder at 3-8. At 3,800 is the bid now at 3,008. At 3,000, 3,800 is the bid. 3-9 if you want to go again online. At 3,008. At 3,009 you're in. My commission interest is out now and you're in online at 3,009. At 3,000, 3,900 is with the online bidder here at 3,009. Would anyone like to go up to £4,000? At 3,9 is the bid. At 3,000, 3,009, are we finished and done then? At £3,900, last chance, fair warning, once, twice, 4 bid up top. 4's your bid, sir. Thank you very much. You're in at £4,000. At 4,000, 4,000, 4,000. At £4,000 is the bid now at 4,000. Would anyone like another 100? At 4,000 is the bid. At 4,000, 4,000 once. At 4,000, 4,000 twice. Finished and done then. Last chance in fair warning at £4,000. With you up top provisionally there. 652. Thank you, 652. 4,000. Provisional bid. Moving on down we go to lot number 38 is the 195 Dot Scrambler 197, a collector's dream, another lovely dot. Look at the chrome work on this one. Look how shiny it looks, gleaming away there. What have we got on this one then? It's a 197cc two-stroke then. A truly stunning example which would complement any collection. Great history file. Buff logbook, original bill of sale, comes with a lot this one. So let's start the bidding off with me at 2.5, 3,000 we start. At 3,000, 3,000. At £3,000 we'll go 3-2 next. At 3,000 is the bid. At £3,000. At 3 the bid now 3. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. At £3,000 is the bid now at 3. Would anyone like to come in for 2? At £3,000 on the dot here at 3,000. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. I'll take 3-1 if it brings anyone in now at £3,000 with my commission interest here at £3,000. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. Are we finishing done then at £3,000? To the commission bidder at 3,000. Last chance. Fair warning, we'll count you down once, twice. Finishing done then at just £3,000. Bidder number 1096, commission bidder £3,000 is a provisional bid on that one. And we will go down to lot number 39 is the 1948, is the BSA B31. Another lovely no reserve project bike there. You're looking for a winter project. Winter's coming, ladies and gentlemen. Get this in your garage, get busy with it, and what a bike you could have at the end of it. We believe we got a telephone on this one. No reserve today. Who's got £500 to start me off? £500. Seems cheap to me. 500 to start it off today. No interest on my books. Someone needs to kick it off. I tell you what, 250 then. 250's bid. 250. 250. We'll go in the 50s on this one. We'll sell it to the nearest £50. We've got all day. 250, 300. 300 is the bid. At 300, 300, 300. 350 bid. Telephone bidder. At 350 now. At £350 is the bid now at 350. At 350, 350, 350. At 350. Would you like 400 online? I'm going to sell to the telephone bidder. It is no reserve. Hammers up. At £350 is the bid. At 350, 350 and 4. At 400 a bid now 400. I'll leave the hammer up for everyone. At 450's bid now, telephone's in. At 450 to bid. Looking for you online. At 450, it's your turn. At 450, 450, or anyone else like to come in on the room? Anyone want a little project for over the Christmas period at £450 with the telephone bidder? Online, would you like 5? Counting down. Once. At £450. Twice. Finished and done then. We sell to the telephone bidder at 450. Telephone, £450 sold away. And that is to paddle number 2001. Thank you, telephone bidder there. Moving on to lot number 40 of the sale, 1973 Suzuki TS100, and over to Steve Berry.
If you wanted, Tom, a lesson in how the Japanese took over and dominated the motorcycle industry, not true today, but for about half a century they did, then look no further than this 1973 Suzuki TS100. Part of the TS range from 73 to 81. It was part of a wider range of two-stroke, single-cylinder dirt bikes. There was a TM Motocross, TC Trail, TF Farm. There was the Mudbug. They gave them great names: Honcho, Apache, Blazer, Duster. They marketed them. They said to people, hey, if you had one of these, you could have a lot of fun. And they weren't wrong. I can't imagine it's been too much fun restoring one to this incredibly high standard, and it does seem a modest motorcycle to have the amount of money lavished on it by the person that has undoubtedly spent a ton of money and a great deal of their time making this 1973 Suzuki TS100 like brand new. But they did, and now it's for sale, and you could buy it for not a lot of money. Go on, you know you want to.
Wow. What a better introduction would you ever get than Mr. Steve Berry on this one then. We're going to start the bidding off with me straight in at 1,000, 1,000, 1,200, 1,400. At 1,400 we start here. At 1,400 is the bid. At 1,400, 14 and 16 bid. At 1,600, 1,800, 1,800. My interest is out now. It's all online. At 1,800 is the bid. At 1,800, 1,800. Would you like £2,000? At 1,800 is the bid. At 1,800, 1,800. I'll take 19 if you're coming back in. At 1,800 a bid. Cheap bike here at just £1,800 is the bid now at 18. At 1800, 1800. Are we finishing done at just £1,800? 19. Gentleman's bid seated, 1900. At 1900, 1900. Would anyone else like to come in for £2,000? At 1900 is the bid. 2000's online. We'll stay in the hundreds for you though, sir. At 2000 here, would you like 2-1? At 2000, 2000 is the bid now at 2. At £2,000 is the bid now at £2,000 here online at 2. At 2000, 2000, 2000. At £2,000 is the bid now at 2000. At 2000, are we finishing done at just 2000? How about a small little £50 to keep it going? At 2000 is bid. At 2000 is the bid now at 2. 2-1 even better. At 2-1, telephone's in. At 2-1 the bid. Telephone bidder now at 2,100 is the bid. At 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. 2-2's back in now, 2-2. St. Helens bidder now at 2002. At 2,000, 2,200 and welcome online. It's with you at 2002. 2,250, okay. Bid's a bid. At 2,250 to bid. At £2,250 now. Would you like 2-3 in St. Helens? You coming back in for one more? Yes, please, they say. 2-3. At 2003. Shakes the head. Online bidder at the moment with you at 2-3. Would anyone else like to come in for a 50 on this one? At 2,300, are we finished? Are we done? 2,300 once. 2,300 twice. Finishing done then at £2,300. Provisionally with you online at 2003, 9765, 9765, 2003. Moving on, we go to lot number 41, and again, we've had a lot of talking about this one. In a nice little introduction at the start of the sales. The 2020 is the Indian Scout, then the low mileage example on this one. This one has also come in from our Isle of Man collection. It has just had a fresh MOT put on it as well. So just to throw that in there, fresh MOT on this one. It's done about 1,432 miles on this one. Fresh, clean MOT, owner's manual, data tag, rear backrest added, Isle of Man V5, comes with 2 keys. Lovely looking bike, Indian Scout there. Oh, start me off. Who's got £5,000? Indian Scout at just £5,000 to start it off today, surely. Would anyone like to jump in at 5? £5,000 to start? Yes. Yes, please. 5's bid. At 5,000 now. We'll go in 200s on this one if we can. 5-2 if you're coming in. The Indian Scout. At 5,000 is the bid. At 5,000, 5,002. At 5,200 the bid. Imagine cruising around on this one at 5.2 the bid now, 5.2. At 5,200 is the bid. At 5.2, 5.2, 5.2. Would anyone else like 5.4 now? At 5,002 is the bid. Indian Scout at 5.4. 5.4 is back in now at 5,400 is with you at 5,004. 5.6 is your next bid. Cheap little bike, this one at just 5,400. At 5.4 to bid. At 5,000, 5,400. Would you like 5.6 anywhere else? At 5,004. At 5.6 back in. Thank you, online bidder there. In Surrey at the minute at £5,600 is the bid. At 5,000, 5,006. At 5,600, we'll take 8 next. At 5,600 is the bid now at 5.6. Are we finishing done? Underbidder, would you like to go 5.8? At 5,000, 5,600, finishing done then at 5,600. Last chance, fair warning, 5.8. Dorset bidders in at 5,800 a bid. At 5,000, 5,008. At 5,800 a bid now, 5,008 is bid. Surrey, would you like to go 6,000? You coming back in for another bite? At 5,800 is the bid now at 5,008. At 5,000, 5,800, the bid now 5,008. I will take 5.9 if you're nice and quick. At 5,008 is the bid. It's with you in Dorset now. At 5,800, the bid then once. At 5,009. At 5.9, Surrey's back in. At 5,900, a bid now 5,009. Dorset, would you like £6,000? 6,000, they say yes please. Thank you for coming back in. It's your bid in Dorset at 6,000. Surrey, it's your turn. Would you like to come in for another 100? At 6,000 is the bid. At 6,000, 6,000, 6.1. At 6,100 the bid now, 6.1 is bid. At 6,100 the bid now, 6.1 is the bid now, 6.1. 2 if you're thinking about it. or anyone else in the room want to come in at 6,100 on the Indian Scout, 2020 in the air at just 6,100 for the first time, then at 6.1, 6.2, at 6,002. Dorset bidder back in now at 6,200 is the bid now at 6,002. At 6,000, 6,200 a bid now, 6,002 is the bid. It's with you in Dorset. Online we go, 6.3, sorry. At 6,300 a bid now, 6,003 is bid. At 6,000, 6,003. At 6,000, 6,003. Find another as good as this at £6,300. At 6,300 a bid now, 6,003 is the bid in Surrey at 6,003 for the first time then. At 6,300 for the 6.4, 6.4, 6.4. At 6,400 is the bid. At 6,000, 6,004, Dorset, you're in the lead at the minute. At 6,004. At 6,000, 6,400 is the bid. 6.5 straight back in, fast bid in there, sorry. Thank you very much. At 6.5, let's go 6.6. Make it nice and quick underbidder. You coming back in again. At 6,005. At 6.5, 6.5, 6.5. At 6,500 is the bid now at 6,005. At 6,000, 6,500 a bid then once. At 6,500 are you finished and done in Dorset. At 6,500 the bid then twice. Last chance. Fair warning. At £6,500. 6.6. And on outright sale. Now at £6,600 the bid. We'll get the hammer up. At 6,006 it's gonna sell today. The Indian Scout at 6,000, 6,600 for the first time. At 6,600 for the second time. We're selling, make no mistake, underbidder. It's now or never. 6.7's bid. At £6,700 a bid now, 6,007. Surrey's in. You're cruising at the minute. At 6,700 the bid. At 6,000, 6,700 a bid now, 6,007. At 6,700 a bit, then 6,007. Dorset, it's your turn. At 6,700 a bit, then once. Twice. Finished. But not done. 6.8. At 6,800 it goes on. At 6,000, 6,800 the bid. At 6,000, 6,800, it's off to Dorset at the minute. At 6,800, Indian Scout. At 6,800, 6.9, thank you, Surrey, back in there, fast bidding at 6.9. At 6,900 the bid. At 6.9, 6.9 for the first time now, 6,009. At 6.9, 6.9, 6.9. Are we finished? Are we done, Dorset? For the second time, hammers up and selling once, twice, finished, done. 7 bid. 7,000 Dorset bidder, sneaking in, leaving it late. At 7,000 a bid. At 7,000, 7,000, 7,000. Surrey's usually fast at coming back in. Would you like to go again? Once. 1. 7,001. At 7,000, 7,100 is the bid now at 7,001. 7.1, 7.1, 7.1 for the first time now at 7,100. Dorset, are you finished? Are you done? At 7,100 twice and selling. Finished and done. It sells at £7,100 and going, gone. £7,100. 2097. Sold away. £7,100. Little note just coming across. Lot number 25, Honda VTR 1000 SP. Sold away at £4,800. Thank you to the bidders there, and great work on the telephone, guys. Moving on, we go to lot number 42 now. 2005 in the year, the Aprilia RSV Mille V-Twin Superbike. Ooh, where are we up to with this one? Got nothing on my book on this one, unfortunately. So start me off. Who's got £1,000 for an Aprilia? £1,000. Surely there's £1,000 for this one to start it off today. £1,000 to come in. Let's get the ball rolling here. £1,000. Thousands bid online. Thank you very much. 11 bid. At 1,100 a bid now 11. At 1,001, 1-2 bid. At 1,200 a bid now 1,002 is bid. At 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. Coming back in for 3. At 1,200 is the bid now at 1-2. At 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. At 1,200 is the bid. Online, would you like one more? At 1,002 is the bid now at 1,002. Are we finished? Are we done? Last chance. Bids here. 1,003. West Yorkshire sneaking in late. 1,003 is the bid. At 131313. At 1,300 the bid now, 1,003 is bid. Would anyone else like to go 14? At 13 the bid now, 13 is bid. At 1,300 for the first time, then at 13. For the second time, finished and done then, at 1,000. I seen just before you, Ness, the gentleman's hand went up at 14. Online, 2 bidders there, would you like 15? Gentleman's bid here at 1,004. At 141414. At 1,400, we're going to count you down online at £1,400 to the gentleman, left-handed then, at 1,400 once, 1,005 bid. At 1,005, would you like to go again, sir? Shakes the head at 1,500 is online here, at 1,500. At 1,500, would anyone else like to come in now? At 1,500, are we finished, are we done? It's your last chance in fair warning then at £1,500, once, twice, finished and done, 1,500. With you online at 1,500, 1734, provisional. Was 17344. Right, moving on down we go. Perfect. Moving on down we go to lot number 43. This is another one that's come in from the Isle of Man. It's the 2023, the Moto Guzzi 3100 Mandello. Great sports tour. Also on this one, ladies and gentlemen, nice fresh MOT for you. So if you are interested today, and we're straight in online at £4,000. At 4,000 online bid. At 4,000, 4,000, 4,000. At £4,000 is the bid now online at 4. At 4,000, 4,000, 4,000. At 4,000 with the maiden bid here online at £4,000. At 4,000, 4,000, we will submit the bid to the vendor at just £4,000. Unless you come in, we'll take another 250 if you're coming in on this one, 4,250's bid. 4,250 for 5. 4,250 to bid now for 5's bid. At 4,500, 4,500, 4,500. At 4,500 a bid now for 5. I'll take 750 if you're thinking about it. 4,750's bid. Thank you. At 4,750, if you're coming, 5,000's back online. At 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. At £5,000 is the bid now at 5. At 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. Take another 250 if you want to come in. At 5,000, are we finished? At 5,000, are we done? Last chance. Fair warning then. Goes once, twice, finished and done at 5,250 is the bid. At 5,250, 5,250, new bidder now at £5,250 is with you in the West Midlands. At 5,250 is the bid. At 5,250 to bid now, 5,250 is bid. Underbidder, would you like to go again? I can see you're hovering at home. It's now or never. At 5,250 to bid now, 5,250 is bid. 5,500 back in. At 5,005. At 5,500 is the bid now at 5,500. I'll go 5,600 and then we'll go in 200s if we can. We'll make it a little bit smaller, a little bit easier for you online. At 5,005, I'll take 5,600 if you're still thinking about it. At 5,005. At 5,500 a bid now, 5,005 is the bid then once. 5,600 bid. At 5,006, take 5,800. At 5,600 is the bid now at 5,600. At 5,600 a bid now, 5,006 is the bid. Are we finished? Are we done? Last chance in fair warning on this one. At 5,600 a bid then once, twice. Finished and done then at 5,008 is bid. At 5,800 a bid now, 5,008 with you online. Underbidder, would you like to go £6,000? At 5,008. At 5,800 a bid now, 5,008 is bid. At 5,000, 5,800 for the first time here online. For the second time, with you online at £5,800, all finished, all done then at 5,800. With you online at £5,800, 18443, provisional bid. Moving on down we go to lot number 44 in the sale, this time 1961. It's the Royal Enfield Crusader bike then, the British lightweight bike. Where are we up to on this one? Start me off. Going to go in with my commission interest at £500. At 500 is the bid now at 5. At 506, commission interest is out already. At 600 bid. At 600, 600, 607 bid. At 700, 700. At 700 is the bid now at 7. 800 bid. At £800 a bid now, 800 is bid online. At £800 the bid. At 800, 800, would you like to go 9 online underbidder? I can see you thinking about it. At 800 bid. At £800 a bid now, 800 is the bid then. Go 50 if you're nice and quick, or we'll close the sale at 850 is bid. At 850, 850. At £850 is with you at the minute online. At 850, 850, 850 and 9. At 900 and 900 is the bid. At 900, 900, 900, would you like to go again? At 900, 900, 900, are we finished and done? 950, 950, gentleman's bid. At 950 to bid. It's against you online, both of you there. At 950 down here, right-handed, then at 950. At £950, finished and done then at 950. Last chance online if you're coming back in. At 950 to bid then once. At 950 to bid then twice. Finished and done then at 950. Oh, thousands just sneaked in. £1,000. I'll stay in the 50s for you, sir. 1,050, thank you. At 1,050 bid, gentleman's bid. Don't leave it so late next time online. You nearly missed out then. At 1,050 is bid. At 1,000 and 1,050 here, gentleman's bid. At 1,050, I'm going to count you down. Online bidder, are you coming back in? It's on sale at 1,050 once, twice, finished and done, and selling now at £1,050. Your bid, sir, 188. Thank you very much. 188, £1,050 sold away. Moving on down, we go to lot number 45. Lot number 45, 1972. Suzuki GT550, stunning example of a bike this one is. It's a 543cc, 222 stroke there, part of a small high-end private collection as well, so that usually means it's been very well looked after, and it looks great. Gonna go straight in, bidding's running online. It started at 2,005, 2,8, 3,000, 3,2, I'll take 3,4 next. At 3,002, 3,4's bid. At 3,004, 3,6 is the bid now at 3,006. At 3,000, 3,006. At 3,006, 3,7. 3,7's bid. At 3,007, 3,8's back in now, 3,008. At 3,800 is the bid now at 3,008. Who'd like £4,000? At 3,8 is bid. At 3,8 and 4, 4,000 online bidder, you're in. At £4,000, the bid now 4. At 4,000, 4,000, welcome Staffordshire, it's with you at £4,000. Would anyone like to come in for another 2? At 4,000 is the bid. At 4,000, 4,000, 4,000. Are we finished and done then at just £4,000? It might have done a little bit more on this one. 4,2, okay, they're in. At 4,002, 2 online bidders here. We're in bucks at the minute. At 4,200 is the bid. At 4,000, 4,002. At 4,2, 4,2, 4,2. Underbidder, would you like to go 4,4? Yes, please, they say. 4,4 Staffordshire, you're in. At 4,004. At 4,000, 4,004. 4,6 is your next bid if you're coming back for one more. At 4,004. At 4,400 a bid now, 4,004 is bid. Are we finished and done online? You're thinking about it. At 4,400. 4,6 bid. 4,6 bucks is back in. 4,8 your next bid if you're coming back for one more. At 4,006. At 4,000, 4,600 a bid now, 4,006 is bid. Are we finished? Are we done? It's your last chance in fair warning, and 8. 4,8 back in. At 4,008, Staffordshire's in again at 4,008. At 4,000, 4,000, 4,008. I'll tell you what about 4,9? At 4,008. At 4,8 is the bid now, 4,008. 4,9, 4,9, 4,9. At 4,900 a bid. At 4,9 the bid now, 4,9. Underbidder, would you like to go 5? At 4,900 is the bid here at 4,9. Are we finished and done online? Are you coming in for one more? At 4,900 a bid. Are we finished? Are we done? Last chance, fair warning. £5,000 is the bid now, 5. At 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. At £5,000 is the bid. At 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. I'll take 1 if you're coming back in. And do you know what? It's on outright sale. Hammer is up at £5,000 and selling today. At 5,000, 5,000 once, twice, it goes. This time then at £5,000. Sold at 5,000, 18447, I think that was, 18447, £5,000, sold away. Lot number 46, this time 1970, Yamaha TX500, another lovely little bike there, no reserve again today. Oh, I've got several commission bids on my book, but online come in for 5. Thinking about it, would anyone like to come in for 5 before I go to my commission bids on this one? Right, yes. 5. Commission bids out, done. 500's in. Thank you, online bidder. You're in now at 500 a bid. At 500, 500 is the bid now at 5. 6 is bid now 7. 7 bid. And 8. £800 a bid now. 800 is the bid here at £800. It sells today. Make no mistake on this one. £800 is the bid now at 8. At 800, we'll go 50s. Make it nice and quick online. Let's get it to the highest bid today. Sell it to the nearest £50 on this one. Won't go any lower, so 800. 50 if you're coming in. Now or never online. At 850 bid. At 850, 850, 850. Underbidder, would you like 9? At 809. At 900, 900 back in. At £900 is the bid. At 900, 900. Would anyone in the room like to come in for a £50? It's all online at the minute at 900. I'll take 50 if anyone else wants to come in. At £900 then, hammers up. At £900 it goes once, goes twice, finished and done, £900. Sold, too slow online, £900 just come in, just after the hammer went. 16659, 16659. Unfortunately, online bidders, when that hammers up, get your bids in as quickly as possible, because once it's down and it's gone, it's too late. So we move on to lot number 47, 2007 in a year. It's the Aprilia RS125, last of the full power version, this one says, 12,365 on the clock. Liquid cooled, 2-stroke, single cylinder, part of a small private collection again. Where are we up to on this one? Who's got a couple of £1,000 to start? Looks lovely there. Great colouring. 2,000 to start. How about just £1,000 to kick it off today then? We won't go any lower. Thousands bid. Let's go 1,200 next. At £1,000. At 1,000 is the bid now 1,000. At 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. Take 1,200 if you're coming in. At 1,000 is the bid. Are we finishing done at just £1,000? 1,200 behind you. 1,200, 1,200, 1,200. Would you like 14, sir? No, thank you. Gentleman's bid at the back. At 1,200, I'll tell you what, we'll go in hundreds if it helps any of you out. At 1,200 is at the back of the room. We'll take 13 next. At 1,200, 1,200, 13's online. 1,300 is bid. At 1,300, 1,300. Would you like to go 14, sir? At 1,300 is an online bid. At 1,300, 1,300. Are we finished and done at just 1,300? I'll take 14 if anyone's coming back in. 14's back in. Thank you again, sir. At 1,400 is the bid. At 1,400, 1,400. At 1,400, 15's the next bid. At 1,400 is the bid now at 14. Are we finishing done at just £1,400? Cheap little bike at just 15 bid online. It's against you, sir. Online bids back in. At 1,500, 1,500. At 1,500 is the bid. 16, thank you again, sir. At 1,600, gentleman's bid. At 1,600, 1,600. At £1,600 is the bid now at 16. Would anyone like 1,700? At 1,600 a bid. 17 online. 18 back in. Gentleman's bid at 1,800 online. Would you like 19? At 1,800 is the bid. Gentleman's bid here then at £1,800 once. Twice. Oh, 19 sneaking in. 2,000. Thank you. Appreciate your fast bidding, sir. 2,000 straight back in. At 2,000 a bid. At 2,000, 2,000, 2,000 online. Make it nice and quick. I'm counting you down. Once, 2,000, twice. Finished, done. £2,000. Your bid, sir, 2,000. Do you have your paddle number there? Turn it around. 6. Thank you very much. £2,000 provisional. Moving on down, we go to lot number 48 then. Lot number 48 is the 1979 Yamaha XS750. And over to Mr. Stephen Berry to introduce this lovely, iconic triple. That's a mouthful.
Love it, Tom, love it. So yeah, people say to me, modern classic. I think it starts about the time of this 1979 Yamaha. I'll tell you why. Look down here. Instead of spoke wheels, we have cast wheels. Instead of drum brakes, we have disc brakes. In fact, there are 3 disc brakes on this 3-cylinder Japanese motorcycle. We've got a double overhead camshaft, where previously we might have seen a single one. And although we do have a kickstart, there are still some vestiges of an older motorcycle technology. We have a kickstart and twin shock suspension. We've also got electric start and we've got electronic ignition. All of those features, big changes in a relatively short period of time, make a bike like this eminently usable today. This is not necessarily a collector's bike right now. This is an affordable classic that I think would be practical to use. You could daily it, as they say. it's, you know, it's far enough up in motorcycle technology for you to be able to do that. So modern classics, when do they start? I'm saying around 1980. I don't think this is going to be unaffordable, but I do think it's quite a special motorcycle and quite a significant motorcycle. It's not particularly good looking, but hey, sometimes great things come in a package that ain't that beautiful. Do you know what I'm saying, Tom?
Right then, we're gonna find out now, Steve. What are we at to on this one? Start me off. Who's got £1,000 to start? Anyone interested today? £1,000. An everyday ride along for just £1,000. Have some great fun on it. Let's bid away. Surely there's £1,000. Surely there's £1,000. Thousands bid. Bidder there. At £1,000. Straight in online. Thank you very much. You're in. At £1,000 is the bid now 1,000. At 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. 1,100 bid. Against you online. At 1,100 is the bid now 11. At £1,100 is the bid now 1,100, 1,100. Online, would you like 12? Telephone bid here. At 1,100 is the bid. At 1,100, 1,100, 1,100. 1,200 against you now. At 1,200, 1,200, looking back on the telephones. At 1,200 is the bid. Shakes the head. At 1,200 is the bid now at 12. At 1,200, 1,200, 1,200. At 1,200 is the bid now 12. At 1,200, 1,200. Is anyone like to come in for 13 now? At 1,200 at the back. Was that a bid or a wave, sir? I think it was a wave. At 1,200 bid. At 1,200, 1,200, 1,200. At 1,200 is the bid now at 12. At 1,200, all finished and done then. Last chance in fair warning. If you come, 13 bid online, new bidder, you're out now. At 1,300, Staffordshire, you're in. At 1,300 is the bid now, 1,300 is the bid. At 1,300, 1,300. Would anyone else like 14? Cheap little biker, just £1,300. Running and riding. Last chance and fair warning then. At £1,300, we'll submit the bid to the vendor online once, twice. Finished. 14 is that? 14's in. At 1,400 is the bid now. 1,400 new bidders in. At 1,400, 1,400 with you online. At 1,400, 1,400. At 1,400 is the bid. We shouldn't need to, but we'll start taking the 50s. 1,450. Not many lots left. We can have some fun with these last few lots. 1,450, would you? Once. Twice. Finishing done then, online bidder at £1,400. Provisionally with you, online bidder 1056. Is that 1056? Provisionally with you online. Provisional bid. Moving on down we go to lot number 49 this time then. Lot number 49, 1965 is the Matchless GT400. And, have I got that wrong? Is this one gone already? There we go. So the Matchless then. GT, sorry, just had to confirm something there. We're going to start the bidding on no reserve today. Who's got £500 to go? £500 surely? Yes, 500 they say. 500 is bid. 500, 6. 600 a bid now, 600 is bid online. 600, 600 is the bid now at 6. At 600, 600, 600. At £600 the bid now, at 600 is online. At 600, 600, 600, 7. 700 bid. At £700 is the bid now at 7. And 800 bid. At 800, 800, 800. At £800 is the bid now at 8. At £800, £800 the bid now, 800 here. I'll take 50s then. It's no reserve, must go today. Coming in. Last chance. 50, gentleman's bid. 850 down seated at the front. At 850, 850, 850. At £850 online, you coming back for 9. Looking for you now. At £850 with the gentleman then. At £850. The hammer's up this time. 9's bid. At 950, back in 950. Thank you for your fast bid there, sir. At 950, make it nice and quick online. Hammers up again. At 950, no reserve. It's going to sell once, twice. Finishing done then at 950 and 1,000 bid. At 1,050 bid back in. At 1,050 before you online. Gentleman had his hand straight back up. Online, would you like 11? I think there's 2 of them now online, sir. At 1,050, but I took your bid at £1,050. Once, twice, not with you online and selling once, twice. Finished and done. 1100 back in. I'm trying, sir. 1150. Thank you again. 1150. Make it quick online. At 1150, 1150, 1150. At 1150 to bid then once. Twice. Finished and done. And selling now. Your bid. 46. Thank you very much. Bidder number 46 there. £1,150. Sold. Moving on to lot number 50 this time. Lot number 50. 1999 Honda CB1100 SF X11 there. The naked Blackbird then. Look at this one. Start me off on this one. Ooh, where are we up to? You're in. 1800, 2000. 2 2s with me at 2002. 2-4. 2-6 is my bid. At 2006, 2-8, I'm out. You're in online. At 2008, we'll take 2-9 next. At 2,800 with the online bidder. At 2,000, 2,800 is the bid. At 2,000, 2008, would anyone like 2-9 now? Honda CB 1100 SF then. At 2,800 is the bid. At 2,828 bid. At 2,800 the bid now. 2,008 is bid here. At 2,000, 2008, are we finishing done? Would anyone else like to come in for 2-9? At 2,008 is here online. At 2,000, 2,800 a bid now. 2,008 is bid. We're going to start counting it down. At 2,800, I'll take 2-9 once. At 2,000, 2,800 a bid then twice. With the online bidder at £2,800. Yeah. And on outright sale at £2,800 and selling. Sold away. 18440. 18440. £2,800. Sold. Moving on down, we go to lot number 51 this time. Lot number 51, 1980, is the DMS Honda XR520 Moto Fox Dickman Specialist. This one, then we go starting away. Look at that, that's a lovely bike, gloriously lit up over there. Have a good look. How great does that look? Starting off, several commission bids with me, gonna go in at 4, 4.5, 5, 5.5, £6,000 to start now. At £6,000 is the bid. At 6,000, 6,000, 6,000. We'll take the 500s if we can. At 6,000 bid. At 6.5's online. At 6.5 is an online bid now. 7 back to me. At 7,000, 7,000, 7,000. One more might do it online, just saying. At 7,000 is the bid. At 7,000, 7,000, 7,000. At £7,000 is the bid now at 7. At £7,000 is the bid now at 7. Are we finishing done? My commission bidder here at £7,000. I'll take 250 if you want to go up. No need, 7.5. And my commission interest is out. It's online. 8's bid at 8,000 now. At £8,000 a bid now. 8,000, 8,000, 8,000. Look how great it looks. The Moto X at 8,000, 8,000, 8,000. At £8,000 is the bid. We'll take quarters now. Who wants the 250 on this one? At £8,000, are we finishing done? At 8,000, 8,000, 8,000. At £8,000 the bid. Looking for you now. Underbidder, would you like to go again? It's with the online bidder here. At £8,000 the bid. At 8,000, 8,000, 8,000. Are we finishing done? Is that all we're going to see today? At £8,000, make no mistake. Last chance in fair warning. This time then, with you online at £8,000 once. Twice. 8,250, okay, screaming away at the back. 8,250. Sorry, I nearly missed you there, sir. At 8,250 is your bid. At 8,250 to bid now, 8,250. At 8,250 is bid. Online, you coming back in for one more. At 8,250 the bid. At 8,250, we'll start counting it down then. Gentleman's bid here at £8,250 once. Twice. Finished and done. 8,250. Your bid provisionally 652. Thank you. 652. That is a provisional bid. Thank you very much, sir. £8,250. Moving on to lot number 52 then. Lot number 52. 1961 stroke 1980s. It's a bit confusing. DCM Yamaha 500C. DCM special racing frame there. Super mono, this one is the super mono. Start me off on this one. I'm going to go straight in at 1,000, 11, 12, 1,300 we start. At 1,300 is the bid. At 1,300, 1,300. At 1,300 is the bid now at 13. At 1,300, 1,300 is the bid now at 13. At 1,300, 1,300, would anyone like to come in for 14? At 1,300 is bid here. At 1,300 with me on the book, 14's bid. 15 back to me. At 1,500 is the bid now at 15. At 1,500, 1,500 is the bid now at 1,500. At 1,500, 1,500, are we finished and done then? With my commission bidder at the minute, at 1,500, I'll take 16 if anyone wants to jump in now. At 1,500, finished and done then, once, twice. Last chance, fair warning at 1,500. 10.56, I'll submit the bid there at £1,500 provisionally. Right, moving down, we go to lot number 53 then. Lot number 53, 1976 Honda CB400. It's the Jim Redmond Evocation this time. Another lovely Evocation bike again. Really well done, looks great. Where are we up to? Start me off. Going to take my commission bids here, several of them. I'm going to do 2, 2.5, 3, 3,000 we start. At £3,000 is the bid now at 3. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. At £3,000 is the bid. At 3,000, 3,000, take 250 if you're coming in. At £3,000 is the bid now 3. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. Are we finishing done? Maiden bid here on the book at £3,000. At 3,000, I'll take hundreds if it brings anyone in. At £3,000, it's the big jump scaring you off. At £3,000, last chance in fair warning then. My commission bidder here at £3,000, once, twice. Finished and done at £3,000. Provisionally, 1096's way, 1096. Provisional bid there. Moving down we go to lot number 54. Lot number 54 this time is the KTM 1982 495 123 mile per hour classic motocross bike. Have a good look at that one. Looks absolutely brilliant there. The original motocross bike, KTM then. Start me off on this one. Oh, where are we up to? 2,000 to start, seems cheap. £2,000. Can't go any lower on this one. 2,000 if you wish to kick it off today. No interest on my book. 2,000 to start. Does anyone want to jump in and grab themselves a bargain potentially at £2,000? 2,000. Coming in. Last chance. Fair warning. At £2,000, we're finishing done then. If you're not coming in, we're going to have to move on. Last chance in fair warning. Two's bid online at £2,000. It makes a telephone call. That's all that matters at £2,000. At 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. Anyone else interested now? I will provisionally submit the bid then at £2,000. Make no mistake, finished and done at £2,000. Provisionally with you online. Bidder number BP4. There we go, BP4. That's a different one. Moving on to lot number 55's up next, 2015 in the year, Harley Davidson. It's the FLHRC. It's the Road King Classic Tourer. Look at this one. Monstrous machine again. From the Isle of Man, fresh MOT on this one. It's a 1690cc air-cooled high-output twin cam there as well in this one. 2 keys, V5, owner manual as well. Where are we up to? Start me off on this one. I'm going to go in with my commission interest. I'm going to go £3,500, £4,000 to start. 4,000's a bid. Just £4,000. Take 4,500. At 4,000 a bid. At 4,000, 4,005 surely on this one. At £4,000 is the bid. At 4,005. 5,000 back in. At 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. At £5,000 is the bid now at 5. At 5,000, 5,000. We'll go in 250s from this point then. Still got a little way to chase at £5,000. Would anyone like a 250 here? At 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. A 2015 Harley Davidson at just £5,000. Are we finished? Are we done at just £5,000? Last chance in fair warning then at 5. I'm going to take the gentleman's bid over there at 5,250. I've seen his hand first. Online, I'm looking at you now. You just missed out to the gentleman that put his hand up. Would you like 5,500? Yes. At 5,005. Would you like 750, sir? It's a lot of bike for little money. At 5,005. 5,750, okay, he says. At 5,750 is the bid. At 5,750, seated left-handed, online, looking for you now. Would you like £6,000? Once. Twice. Submitting the bid with you, sir, at £5,750 to 207. Right then, lot number 56, 2005 BMW R1100S. This one is the Boxer Cup. And over to you, Steve.
Believe it or not, Tom, once upon a time, BMW didn't really build sports motorcycles. They built what they called sports touring motorcycles, including this one, the R1100S, and I had one, but I didn't have this edition because this was the rather special Boxer Cup, which of course was based on the bikes that raced in a one-make race series, a series which, because it was a big-name company like BMW, attracted names like Randy Mamola and Kevin Schwantz to its ranks. This road-going version has about 100 horsepower from its Boxer twin oil-cooled engine, and it has some modifications from standard. This bike is 20 years old, like lots of lovely carbon fibre and under-the-seat laser exhaust cans. The reason we've put it underneath this light is because despite the fact that it's done nearly 7,000 miles, it's absolutely mint to death. I mean, that's why we've put it here. There isn't a scratch on the thing. 20 years old, 7,000 miles, it's better than brand new, and it's a BMW.
You would never ever know this was 20 years old if it didn't have a logbook or a number plate on it. Looks great indeed. Start me off. Who's got £3,000 for this BMW? £3,000 today, surely. 3,000 to start. How about £2,000? Oh, is that three? 2 seconds. 2,000 to start. Coming in online. 2,000 bid. Thank you, online bidder. You're in at £2,000. At £2,000, we'll go in the quarters on this one. 2-2 bid. At 2,002. At 2-2, 2-4 is that. 2-4's bid. At 2,004. At 2,400 a bit now, 2,004, 2,600. At 2,600 here on the Boxer Cup. At 2,006 and 8 it goes on. At 2,800 is the bid now at 2,800. At 2,008 and £3,000. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. At 3,000, 3,200. At 3,200 a bit now, 3,002 is bid. The Boxer Cup at 3,400. At 3,400 is bid. At 3,400, 3,400, 3,400. At 3,400 a bit now, 3,004 is the bid. Are we coming back in for 3,600? Yes or no? At 3,004. At 3,400, 3,400, 3,400. At 3,004. I'll tell you what, 3,600. 3,600 is bid. 3,800 back in. At 3,008 is the bid now at 3,008. At 3,800 is the bid now at 3,800. I'll take 3,900 if you want to keep it going. 3,900, go to the hundreds. We won't go any lower. We'll sell it to the nearest 100 on this one. Lovely BMW Boxer Cup at just 3,800. 3,900 bid. At 3,004. 4 bid. 4 before you online. Gentleman's bid. At £4,000. I'll take one from either of you now. At 4,000 right-handed, 4 ones online. At 4,1, 4,1, 4,1. At 4,100 is the bid now at 4,001. 4,2 it moves on. At 4,002, would you like 3, sir? At 4,002, 4,3 already. At 4,300 is the bid. At 4,3, 4,3, 4,3. At 4,300 is the bid now at 4,003. Online, left-handed, 4,4. At 4,004, 4,500 is that. 4,500's in. Cheshire bidder now at 4,005. Local money here at 4,005 online. At 4,005. At 4,005, would you like 4,600? Is that a bid on the table, sir? No, 4,005. At 4,005. Coming back in, 4,600. Gentleman's bid at 4,006. At 4,000, 4,006. 4,700. 4,700's bid. At 4,007. Online bid here at the minute at 4,007. Would anyone like 4,800? At 4,700 is the bid. Looking for you now, sir. 4,800, thank you. Gets the nod. At 4,008. At 4,000, 4,008. Online, would you like 4,900? They say yes, please. Online is bid at 4,009. 5,000 in and away. At 5,000, gentlemen's bid here in Runcorn at £5,000. At 5,001. At 5,1, 5,1, 5,1. It's against you now, sir, walking away at 5,001. At 5,000, 5,100 is the bid. At 5,100, are we finished and done? Would you like 5-2? 5-2, yes please, he says. 5-2, gentleman's back in now. Thank you very much, sir, it's your bid. At 5-2, not for long. 5-3, and on outright sale it sells today. At 5,003. At 5-3, 5-3, 5-4. 5-4 in the center now at 5,004. At 5,000, 5,004, 5-5. At 5,500, it's a lovely looking bike in absolutely excellent condition. The Boxer Cup at 5,500 is online and against you now, sir. At 5,005. Hammer is up. 5-6. 5-6. At 5,600 is the bid. 5-7's back in online. At 5-7, 5-7, 5-7. At 5,700, 5-8, thank you again. Gentleman's bid again at 5,008 online. Would you like 5-9? 5-9, they're fast online this time, sir. At 5,009, straight back in. At 5,009, shakes the head. You've come this far, sir. I'll take the 50 if it helps. Still shakes the head at 5,900, once, twice. Finished, done, selling away online at 5,900 pounds. Sold, 5-9. 5-9, online bidder was 7601, yeah, 7601 sold. Yeah, thank you very much. I pass that one down. Moving on to lot number 57 is a 2001. It's the Yamaha YZF-750, original 90s super bike there. Look at that, the colouring on this one. Well, it looks great. Reminds me early, sort of late 90s, Mr. Motivator era, wasn't it, this bike? Looks great indeed. Starting off £1,000 to go. Who's got £1,000 for it? £1,000, come on. Look at it there. The great colouring, the great livery on it. £1,000 to start. Go on then, 500. Who's got a 500 to start me off? £500, surely, let's get it going. 5's in and away. At 500's bid. I'll take 6. 6 is bid. At 600 is the bid now 6. Would you like 7, sir? You're walking towards me. 7's bid before you online. At 700, gentleman's bid right-handed. At 700, 700, 700. At 700 is the bid. Online, it's not with you. It is now. 800's in. At £800 is the bid now at 800. At 800, 800, 800. 9. 900 is bid. At £900 is the bid online now at 9. 1,000 bid. 1,000 is the bid now 1. Stafford's in at £1,000. At £1,000 is the bid now 1,000. Take 1,100 if you're thinking about it. At £1,000 is the bid now 1,000, 1,000. At 1,000, are we finished? Are we done? 11 bid. £1,100 is your bid online. Somewhere in the United Kingdom, it's with you at £1,100. I'll take 12. Are we finished? Are we done? At £1,100 and 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. West Yorkshire says you're not having it for that. At 1,002 back in. At 1,002 is the bid. Underbidder. Would you like 1,3? At 1,000, I'll tell you what, we're going 50s. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, bid them up and bid them quick. At 1,002, I'll take 50 now. At 1,200 is the bid then once. Twice. Finished and done at £1,200 then. Make no mistake, 1,002. Provisionally with you online, 17334. 17334. 12. Provisional. Moving on, we go to lot number 58 is up next. Then lot number 58, 1984, is the Yamaha XV1000. It's the HRD Vincent Evocation Super. Modern take on an iconic classic. And it looks brilliant. And I got several commission bids on this, so obviously a lot of people also think it looks brilliant. Gonna go straight in, 1,500, 1,750, 2,000. At 2,000, we'll go 2-2 next if we can, to keep it nice and easy for me. At £2,000 is the bid. Take 2-2. At 2,000 is the bid now at 2,000. At 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, you coming in now. At 2-2, 2-4 back to me. At 2,004. At 2,000, 2,400 a bid. At 2-4, 2-4, 2-4. At 2,400 a bid now 2-4. 2-6, 2-8. I need to take 2-9 if you're coming in now online. At 2,008. At 2,800 is the bid. At 2,000, 2,800, are we finishing done here at 2,008? At 2,009, 3,000's back in. My commission bidder now on outright sale. It sells today, make no mistake, at £3,000 we're selling. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. At 3,000, finished and done then. Last chance, fair warning. Hammers up. Once, twice, finished and done at £3,000. Sold away, bidder number 3011 for £3,000. That is your bike commission bidder. Moving on to lot number 59. Lot number 59 is 1957 Rambretta there, the second one today, and already sold. Thank you very much to whoever purchased that one. That is your bike. Moving on to the last ride home then. Lot number 60, 2002 Ducati 900. It's the SS, and it's not just any tribute, it's the Senna tribute. Have a good look. What a lovely looking bike. Stands out in the grey with the red wheels there. Start me off on this one at just £1,000. Come on, let's bid them up. And let's get it gone today. £1,000, the last lot of the day here. Cheap little bid in, £1,000 surely. Thousands bid online. Let's go 1,200. At £1,000 is bid now at 1,000. At 1,000, 1,200 bid. At 1,200, 1,214 bid. Senna tribute then at 14 and 16 bid. At 16 and 1,800, 1,800. At 1,800 is the bid. Would you like two? Two you do. See 2-2. 2-2. 2-4. 2-4's in. At 2,400 a bid. The Senna tribute now. At 2,400 is the bid. Let's go 2.5 then, make it nice and quick. At 2,400 is with you in Stafford. At 2,004. At 2,000, 2,004. I believe I have a telephone on this. At 2,004. Not anymore. At 2,400 is the bid. With you online at 2,004. Would anyone like to come in for 2.5? Last lot of the day, 2.5's in online. West Midlands bidder, you're in the lead at 2,005. At 2,000, 2,500 is the bid. At 2.5, 2.5, 2.5. Last chance, fair warning, finished and done then at 2,500. I'm counting you down once, twice. 2.6 is back in at 2,006. At 2.6 the bid now, 2,006 it's with you. West Yorkshire, you're in. Been a good bidder today. Thank you very much online. At 2006, it's with you at the minute. At 2000, 2006 and 7, it's a two West Midlands. West Midlands. It's the West Midlands versus the West Yorkshire. And do you know what? I'm going to put it on outright sale at 2,700. Last lot of the day. It's going to sell. Hammers up at 2,728. At 2,800 is the bid now. 2.8 is bid. 2.9 if you're coming in. It's selling today at 2,008. At 2.9. At 2.9, 2.9, 2.9. At 2,903 bid. At 3,000 is the bid now at 3. At 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. Would anyone like £100? We've come this far. The last lot. At £3,000. Are we finished? 3-1. At 3-1's back in 3-2. At 3,002, 3-2, 3-2. And on outright sale. At 3,200 is the bid. Once. Twice. 3-3. At 3,003, West Midlands bidder in at 3,003 on the Senna tribute now. At 3,300 is the bid. Are we finished and done then? Last chance in fair warning. Hammers up again at £3,300. Finished and done. Last chance. Fair warning and selling now at £3,300. Sold with you online at £3,300. Just get that paddle number there was 12240, 12240. Thank you very much to the bidder and the underbidder on that last lot. That is today's auction, finished and done for the bikes. Tomorrow we go again with the cars. Don't forget, we've got a few auctions coming up, including on the 12th of November, our platinum sale. We've got several cars coming in already. We've even got a Ducati 888 on this lot as well. We've got our auction in Hampshire on the 8th of November as well. There's much more to come, ladies and gentlemen, and there's some brilliant cars on offer in our platinum sale. 1960 Maserati 350 GT, it looks great. There's a Ferrari 328 GTS, 2004 Aston Martin, a Ford Focus RS as well. They're starting to come in now. So if you've got any high-end motorbikes or motor cars that you want to get sold, please do get in touch. We still have space for consignments. So thank you all to all you bidders today. We've been Manor Park Classics. We look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Hope you have a great night's sleep and a great rest of your afternoon. Thank you very much. I'm Thomas Rose. We're Manor Park Classics. Have a good night.